turn back the Twins 5-1. Holland tossing 6 innings of 1-run ball to improve to 7-13. The news, a service of Uber. If there's something you want to do before the summer's over and having some extra money can help, get your side hustle on and drive with Uber. It's a totally easy, flexible way to earn extra cash to meet your goals. Sign up today at uber.com/drive now. 5:07. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Does how you feel interfere with your lifestyle? Take control before it does. Harvard Medical recently published a paper on how to decrease your risk of cancer, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, bowel and vision problems. The answer, backed by dozens of studies, is not vitamins. It's eating more fruits and vegetables in their whole, complete form. 4 simple tips that I've used with my patients over the years are: 1. Keep fruits and vegetables where you can see them readily. 2. Get crazy. Explore the produce aisle and choose something new. 3. Make it a meal. Try new recipes that include more vegetables and fruits. And the easiest of all, to get the complete nutrition of 31 different fruits and vegetables every day. Take Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Maxon Shooter Supplies is raising the bar for Chicagoland gun owners and enthusiasts, proudly serving the community as Chicago's premier gun shop and indoor shooting range. Here's some exciting news. Maxon has earned the exclusive right to be one of fewer than 100 dealers nationwide to have access to 2 brand new Glock models a week before anyone else. Don't miss your opportunity to try out the new models. With 20 rounds of ammunition, range time, and eye and ear protection for only $10. Limited quantities of the new Glocks will be available for sale this Saturday, well ahead of the new product release to the general public. This is an exclusive event at Maxon Shooter Supplies. Join the excitement at Maxon as the 2 new Glock products are revealed this Saturday, August 26th at 9 a.m. Come early. The first 50 shooters get a free hat. Maxon Shooter Supplies, 75 East Brad Rock in Des Plaines. For more info, visit MaxonShooters.com. That's MAXON Shooters.com.
5:10, and an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good Friday morning, Mike. On the Kennedy Expressway outbound at Kimball, the left lane is blocked with a crash. Elsewhere on the expressways and tollways, things are looking pretty good, with most of the overnight road work now gone. There's still some work on the outbound Ryan from 87th split in the 3 left lanes. Traffic volume is pretty light. A lot of traffic-related events over the weekend, with the Chicago Triathlon causing closures downtown Saturday and Sunday. Also, closure of Holstead and Greektown, Taste of Greektown, and in Skokie, Oakton is blocked. In Lockwood and Niles Center for the Backlot Bash. There are also a number of road races in DuPage County this weekend. Traffic service of Napa Auto Parts. Quality parts and more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help you keep your car on the road all summer long. Stop by our local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A mostly sunny day for today with a high of 73, then tonight turning out to be partly cloudy, a low of 58. A blend of sun and clouds for tomorrow, high of 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
56 at O'Hare, 62 along the lakefront. It is 56 at Midway and 47 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now. on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So what's the deal with that woman who won Powerball?
She's single, and she's looking to mingle. No, she's a Massachusetts mother of 2. She's got 2 grown boys. So you don't have to worry about that. She could just take care of you and doesn't have to take care of any children. And she won the largest...
Could marry one of the boys.
Oh, gross. She won the largest... Come on.
Gross.
She won the largest jackpot
Excuse me?
in U.S. history. You know, it's so funny. She's not going to marry her sons, but I'm sure her sons are calling her and telling her how much they love her this morning. Mom, did I ever tell you how much I love you?
I appreciate all you ever did for me.
Yeah, she's the best. So she bought the ticket on Wednesday, right before the drawing, came forward on Thursday. Normally they kind of hide or meet with an accountant, their attorneys, but no, she came forward yesterday.
I go, hey, I have that. I have that. I have that. And he goes, let me see that ticket. He goes, you just won.
So she bought the ticket, won right away, and was leaving work and looked at the ticket, and her boss said, oh, no, you just won. You literally won the lotto.
So it sounds like she's a little bit underwhelmed by the whole thing. She said, I expect like somebody running down the aisle of Price is Right. That's what I expect.
With their hair on fire.
Reaction.
Oh, my God. Well, she's a nurse, and she decided to quit her job.
Today, as I'm driving here, I'm still like, oh, this isn't true. This can't be. And then now it's like, I am a winner.
I'm a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. She chose the numbers from her kids' birthdays and some other lucky numbers that she, like her
apparently
lucky number 7.
Do you remember selling her the ticket?
Yes, I remember her.
You've seen her before?
I've seen her before, yeah. That's why I remember her. She's a regular here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
she
the
used to
store
steal
owner.
ding-dongs, and now she can pay for them.
That's the store owner, and the reason why it was an even bigger story than it was, they said that a convenience store 70 miles away sold the winning ticket, so all the media was at that convenience store. When they got it wrong, it was a different store.
Stupid media.
Yes, stupid media.
I've called them and told them I will not be coming back.
She called her boss and said she's not coming back to work. So she quit her job.
Okay.
And, I'm happy for her.
If you won $750 million, would you be in here the next morning at for the 5:07 start time?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd come in at 5:09.
You just
dramatic pause. Yeah. Walk in
just to see. Right.
No, I would definitely be at work the next day.
Oh, you do it for the love of the game.
Well, you would.
You're
too.
an artist.
No, but you would too. No, because a commitment's a commitment. You wouldn't do that to me, Dan. Just not show up, Dan. Commitment's a commitment.
No, of course. Yeah. If you go ahead and believe that.
But after taxes, she's going to walk away with $500 million.
Well, that doesn't seem as much now. But
a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. What do you even do with all that money, really?
Well, you can do all kinds of things.
Well, I mean,
you can run against Elizabeth Warren for Senate, Massachusetts. Do all kinds of things with that.
That's where you go. We'll get her into politics.
$500 million gives you a lot of options.
It does, yeah, but it also brings a lot of problems. She's going to get boxes of get boxes of letters every day at her house.
All you have to do
She went about this wrong. She should have put on a costume.
Do one video of taking a box of letters, post on YouTube. I'm a lottery winner. I'm the $750 million winner. Here's the box of all the letters I get on a daily basis. I'm lighting them on fire.
So stop sending them.
Stop sending them because this is where they're going. No, I mean, I'm just being heartless. But yeah, I mean, when you have $500 million, you can hire staff to sift through the letters and see which philanthropic ventures may be worthwhile and which are not. Here's the thing you do though. First two things. Right. If I had enough money, I mean, this is like the threshold. This is my aspiration.
Okay.
For money equals freedom.
Yes.
All right. So, driver, fly private.
That's the first thing on your list. Now, would you buy a plane or would you lease one of the planes? Because it's cheaper to lease. They have these groups too where you can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, NetJets and all that.
Yeah, NetJets.
If I had $500 million, I'd probably buy.
Okay.
I'm gonna splurge.
You're gonna splurge?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a G5, but I mean, even like a nice King Air.
Citation?
6-seater.
Citation's nice.
I mean, maybe
Seats 8.
Maybe the Citation. I don't know. I gotta because I.
But then the insurance and the landing fees and
I
the
want to put
storage.
together. I want to put. I mean, I can't do it just with that money. I want to put together a group to buy the White Sox. I mean, there's a lot of things that you start thinking about when you're in that stratosphere. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
all
then what
kinds
else?
of vanity plays.
What else would you do?
Oh, I would exact vengeance on all the people I dislike.
Oh wow.
I mean, even more so than I do on a regular
you're
basis.
Already doing that?
No, I know, but I could.
I don't think you need to win the lotto.
But I could take it to another level
Oh,
with those kind of
okay.
resources. You know, I could really because I could have bigger teams of people.
Oh, that's right.
To dispatch.
To
you know,
dispatch.
bigger black ops teams.
Uh-huh.
Bigger dirty trick squads.
Would you get a new car?
I mean, yeah.
It's got a nice car, you know.
Well, but I mean, it's like,
Would you buy me a new car? Wait for it.
You know, I don't know. Send me a letter, and I'll think about it.
And Mike Scott, did you end up buying the ticket? Because he never plays the lotto, and he said he was going to buy
Nope.
one.
All right.
Thank
Nope.
you.
No,
Thank
I did
God.
not. No, I didn't.
Good for you.
You know, cars are
Way to
cars.
exercise restraint.
Cars are cars.
Well, not
I mean,
exactly.
Well, I mean, yes, but you know, transportation's transportation. I think I agree with you. The White Sox will be a good purchase.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to spend money wisely.
Yes.
And put a winning team on the south side.
Yeah. But cars are cars. I mean, have you seen the thing she drives?
Well, have you seen what I'm driving?
Well, at least no one is worried about your safety getting from point A to point B.
No,
this thing
no, and
that
I
she's
know how to
driving
turn my headlights on. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
In my 2004.
She's got like the.
Thank you.
She's got Jed Clampett's.
I know.
Moving.
I had no
vehicle.
idea that was an option in the car. I mean, how lazy are Americans where the car turns on your headlights for you? You can't think on your own anymore?
It's a safety feature.
It's a safety feature.
Okay.
And it's the law, by the way, in the state of Illinois when it's raining to have
No,
those
I know.
on, so.
I'm compliant with the law, and I know what the rules of the road are.
Yeah, you're compliant.
What else would you do? Tell me something fun that you would do if you won $758.7 million.
I already said exact vengeance on my enemies.
Okay.
Private
That's all.
island.
What's a private island?
Private island.
For $500 million?
No. Like
you can't.
10 or 15 million, Lake Michigan.
Oh,
Build
yeah,
a nice
like-
little
yeah.
tiny retreat and do some good things for people that need
I'd go to Haiti right
rest
away.
and vacation.
I would go to Haiti.
Do some good things for people who need rest and vacation, like the Chicago Morning Answer family. Is that-
Exactly. No, we build a studio there and we do our show
Oh, there
See,
we
now-
go. Technology. Now
Oh,
we're talking.
You could build a studio downtown, and then we could do the show out of downtown.
Then I get to be like Rush, where I just drop an ISDN line in my house in West
Exactly.
Palm Beach, and I get to
Hello.
and I just come down in my boxers and
Okay.
Okay,
stained
that's
T-shirts.
TMI, baby.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
I'm not there
TMI.
because you
Yeah.
can't wear your boxers around me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's something you have to look forward to if I ever buy a lottery ticket. But here's why I won't.
Why?
Like
Oh, so
Mike
you
Scott.
didn't buy a lotto ticket?
No, of course not. It's
I bought
absurd.
one for $2.
Powerball.
Yes.
Did you understand what the endowment effect is? You ever heard of the endowment effect? It's this idea that you place more value in something you own than it actually is worth.
Okay.
So that's what happens with lottery tickets. People get a little irrational, both in terms of purchasing and in terms of willingness to sell. Listen to this little man on the street Business Insider did interviewing some Powerball ticket buyers this week.
Did you just buy a Powerball ticket?
Yes, I did.
Would you be willing to sell me your ticket?
No, I'm not.
What about for more than you paid for it?
No, I'm not. This is the winning ticket.
How much did you spend on it?
Just 10.
Can I buy it from you?
No.
What about for more than $10?
But you could buy twice as many tickets.
Okay, but we have to make a deal. Judge Judy told me to put it in writing, so I will put it in writing.
And you have $700 million?
What if I offered you twice what you paid for it?
Do you have $700 million?
You're going to buy it for me for $4? Okay, deal. And then I'll go back and buy 2 more tickets?
Here you go, sir.
Deal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No,
But you could buy twice as many tickets.
I don't know. Something tells me something good about these numbers right here.
When I win, you can interview me again. No.
What about for $15?
No.
No, I'm going to take my chances. They're random picks, and I'm going to take my shot. You got to be in it to win it.
No. No.
$20.
Okay, sure.
I paid $6 for the ticket.
Can I buy your ticket from you?
Where in the world?
What about if I gave you $10?
No, 10, is you out your mind?
So I talked to 14 people who were buying Powerball tickets. 11 of them refused to sell me their tickets, even when offered twice as much as they paid for them. Overall, we learned that most people are not willing to part with their tickets, even if they haven't looked at them yet.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're irrational. That's why they're playing Powerball.
Fa la 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 ka-ching.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up, Hawaiian Shirt Day at Salem. Who's going to win the big prize? That's a prize you want to win, Dan. But first, forecast, mostly sunny today. Nice. A little cool right now. 59 degrees at O'Hare, going up to a high of 73 degrees. And then the weekend looks pretty good. We're going to have nice conditions on Saturday, times of sun and clouds, a high of 78. And on Sunday, clouds and sunshine, a couple of thunderstorms around in the afternoon. So the Chicago Triathlon, you triathletes should be just fine. A high Sunday of 78 degrees as well. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Jim Talamonte, did you buy a Powerball ticket?
I did not, Amy. Never bought a lottery ticket. Sorry.
You do-gooders.
I never have. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. On Chicago's west side, we've got a fire blazing in a residential building, a 3-story structure, 18th and Avers. There's a report of people in the building. Keeping an eye on that. The expressways and tollways, things are pretty quiet. The Eden, Kennedy, the Eisenhower are cleared. Stevenson, too. The Ryan has outbound roadwork 87th to the split and 3 left lanes. You may have a brief slowdown there. I-57 has delays inbound starting at 103rd. 22 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. Bishopford pretty light, just a little congestion approaching the Ryan. All good on the tollways. Northwest Indiana's fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, our digital platform with original content that complements what we do on this show. Long-form interviews are Against the Current series this week featuring retiring Illinois State Senator Kyle McCarter on the Illinois political culture and what can be done to extract the poison from it. Also on Upstream Ideas is our Man on the Street segments. That's Follow the Logic. This week we're asking people to follow their own logic and support or opposition to single-payer health care. My 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, Pat Hughes' 2-minute warnings, as well as our new series, Heart of the Matter, which is professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient issues of the day and their impact on families. And Illinois Rising podcasts are located at upstream-ideas.com, covering state policy and politics. That's a hour-long show that airs on these airwaves Sundays at 3 p.m. You can find all of this content and more at upstream-ideas.com.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-600-4133. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant, too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-4133. Again, that's 1-800-600-4133.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License T4358, and MLS 19186.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796 or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So the Powerball winner's divorced, right?
Yeah, her name's Mavis.
Uh-huh.
And she's doesn't have a husband, has 2 adult sons.
I heard his reaction was still not enough money for me to stay with her.
Oh, that's you made that up.
I did.
Yeah.
I did make that up.
Who's the saddest man in the world today? Mavis's ex-husband.
Sometimes there's not enough money in the world, Amy. Eddie in Milwaukee, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this comment to come out from the left that the Powerball is racist because a person of color didn't win.
Oh, I see, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say because the numbers are black. Yeah, numbers, thanks for the call, Eddie.
Yeah.
Numbers on the balls. It's a black number on a white ball. Why's it got to be a white ball?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of which, CNN has leveled the banality of evil argument against all Trump voters. That's 537.
And also the blame game, President Trump going after Republicans in the House and Senate as the threat of a government shutdown looms over money to pay for his border wall. What will it happen? How will it end? But first, let's go into a smiling Mike Scott. Where's your Hawaiian shirt, Mike? Why is nobody playing the Hawaiian shirt game for our company picnic today?
I'm too classy for Hawaiian shirts. Way too classy.
Oh, and Dan just said because we're adults.
Lady.
Oh, I'm trying to win the money, so I'll let you know.
I know.
Where I
Good.
spend my money when I win the prize.
60 outside. And cloudy skies right now. We've had clear skies overnight. Things are clouding up just a bit, just ahead of sunrise. Hurricane Harvey clouding things up on the Texas coast. It's Category 2 storm, a hurricane building strength as it positions itself to make landfall late tonight or early Saturday morning. Winds right now 111 miles an hour. And this resident of Corpus Christi, Felicia Craven, says there's a bit of a panic this morning.
The stores are running out of food very quickly in terms of faster than they can restock it, but there are still trucks unloading. There's still food to be had.
Oil prices are up as Hurricane Harvey bears down on the Texas Gulf Coast, and refineries there, West Texas Intermediate crude futures this morning are up 40 cents. A convicted killer in Florida is dead following an execution that used a lethal drug cocktail for the first time. Mark Asse was executed after the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay. The 53-year-old was convicted of the killings of 2 black men in 1987. A Massachusetts woman is seeing her pipe dream of early retirement come true after winning the second biggest lottery jackpot in U.S. history.
The first thing I want to do is I just want to sit back and relax. And I had a pipe dream, and my pipe dream has finally come true. I wanted to retire in 12, and it came early.
53-year-old Mavis Wanchik of Chicopee, Massachusetts, says she chose those winning numbers from various birthdays of family members. At the White House, more controversy this morning as White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says she will not be responding directly to Republican Senator Bob Corker's recent critiques of President Donald Trump.
That's a ridiculous and outrageous claim and doesn't dignify a response from this podium.
Tennessee Senator denounced the president in the wake of the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. Disgraced former CPS CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett reports to prison on Monday and will begin serving a 4.5-year sentence at the federal prison camp in Alderson. Chicago police believe a Southwest Side shooting may be linked to a rash of robberies in the city and in Hammond, Indiana. That shooting took place yesterday near 61st and Kenneth. No arrests have been made. Mayor Emanuel applauding state lawmakers for brokering a deal on school funding. Speaking to reporters last night, the mayor said the deal does include a funding increase for Chicago public schools. And there's a two-part phishing scam you need to know about this morning, especially if you are a graduate of the University of Illinois. A two-part scam to steal your banking passwords attacked University of Illinois computer users and their off-campus email contacts as far away as Ohio. Illinois Technology Services spokesman Brian Mertz says the scam's first wave was an email saying the user had authorized a large payment. That email included an attachment that put a piece of malware on the user's computer. Hollywood Walk of Fame will be paying tribute to the late comic actor Jay Thomas. Flowers are all over Thomas's Walk of Fame this morning on Hollywood Boulevard. The actor, best known for actually starring in radio long before he went to TV, had recurring roles on Mork and Mindy, Cheers, and Murphy Brown. Reds over the Cubs 4-2 in Cincinnati. White Sox turn back the Twins 5-1. And the news is a service of Napa Auto Parts. Quality auto parts, more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help you keep your car on the road all summer long. Stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Mike Gallagher Show.
This has been a ridiculous few days in this country. It's sad. It's infuriating. It is heartbreaking. The loss of this young life was so needless and absolutely wasted.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing, and even though summer's almost over, there's still time to save with a brand new Ford from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. My family and families all over Chicagoland are getting ready for back to school and all the after-school activities. To help keep up with the busy school year schedule, you need dependable transportation with plenty of room for sports equipment, musical instruments, and all those friends. Joe Cotton Ford is ready to help you find exactly the right vehicle that fits your lifestyle and your budget with no hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics. Just what you need for another successful school year. At Joe Cotton Ford, your satisfaction is their top priority. That's why they're one of the highest repeat customer dealerships in Chicagoland, working with generations of Ford buyers and their families. Whether they're buying their first vehicle or their 14th, be ready for another great school year. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and drive home a new Ford car or truck today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
5:35, let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Southwest side of Chicago and North Lawndale got a fire in a 3-story building at 18th and Avers, east of Pulaski. Palatine got a crash reported. Palatine Road at Quentin. Inbound Bishop Ford Freeway near 159th. Got for some wood debris on the roadway. We're told that's been falling off the back of a truck near 159th. Farther north, traffic slows from around Stony Island to the right. It's 18 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Bishop I-57, 22 minutes is the travel time. Delay start at 103rd Street. The Edens is fine, so is the Kennedy, so is the Eisenhower. Inbound Stevenson had about a 4-minute delay. Central Kedzie. Inbound Rhine, just a little congestion approaching downtown. Outbound Roadwork at 87th, 3 left lanes. Tollways are fine. Traffic is a service of Uber. If there's something you want to do before the summer's over and having some extra money can help, get your side hustle on a drive with Uber. A totally easy, flexible way to earn extra cash to help you meet your goals. Sign up today at uber.com/drive now. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and nice with a high of 73, partly cloudy and 58 overnight. This morning, 57 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So CNN does this breathless report. White supremacists by default, how ordinary people made Charlottesville possible. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
Me? Wait, but I wasn't even in the area.
Trump voter.
My fault. Darn it, I knew I should hate myself for something. Now I know what it is.
So
what did we do?
Fordham University professor. So this is what they're doing here is the banality of evil argument. Hannah Arendt's famous work, Eichmann in Jerusalem, The Banality of Evil, the idea that ordinary people went along with Nazism and were otherwise people who were not Nazis, who were not anti-Semites, who were not National Socialists, who were not looking to subjugate their neighbor, went along with it. Ordinary people going along with extraordinarily evil things. That's what they're referencing without explicitly saying so. Fordham University professor Mark Nason. We're a country with a few million passionate white supremacists and tens of millions of white supremacists by default. Really? I'd love to see the data science to back up those numbers. But okay. He compared Trump voters to nice people who facilitated the horrific violence of the Holocaust, the genocide and the genocide in Rwanda by looking the other way. That was the twisted formula that made the Holocaust and Rwanda possible and allowed Jim Crow segregation to survive. Nice people looked the other way, while those with an appetite for violence did the dirty work. You have to have millions of people who are willing to be bystanders, who push aside evidence of racism, Islamophobia, or sexism. You can't have one without the other. So, are you concerned that as a Trump voter, by the way, there were non-white people who voted for Trump, but okay.
Oh no, not according to them.
Well,
everybody.
It's a point of order. And then they segment this report. They segment into groups: the down low segregationists, those who say yes, but those who choose chaos, those who look the other way. The banality of evil, ordinary people going along with extraordinary evil, right? So 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro. Text line. Now that you've heard the argument, are you awakening to your co-conspirator status in the evil on the order of the Holocaust and Rwanda, genocide
that's
Rwanda?
A bit of a stretch.
Is it?
I'm just sick of Republicans always being labeled as racists and rich people, and no. And why is having money evil too? But we just even saying that you voted for Trump, there's this stigma attached to you. Then people look at you differently.
It's easy to focus on the angry white men in paramilitary gear who looked like they were mobilizing for a race war in the Virginia college town, but it's the ordinary people. The voters who elected a reality TV star with a record of making racially insensitive comments, the people who move out of the neighborhood when people of color move in, the family members who ignore relatives' anti-Semitism, who give these type of men room to operate. You. Yeah.
How do you feel about this, Dan?
It is.
Are you accepting and processing your new role in society?
Well, right. I would get worked up about it, but it's so cheap and it's so anti-intellectual that it's really not deserving of comment. I mean, to compare voting for Trump to participating in the Holocaust or the genocide in Rwanda, does that really deserve comment? I mean, is there an argument that has to be made? But I will make this argument.
How did the editor let this go on CNN?
This is what CNN does. This got
But this
got the high sign from Jim Acosta, so everybody was good with it. I mean, seriously, this is what CNN does. They're a hysterical advocacy network. Don Lemon, Jim Acosta.
But this takes it to a whole new level.
Well, okay. But it's in a level that ultimately we're always going to descend to. Jim in Bensonville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, I think CNN is putting my life at risk because I'm a Trump voter and they're saying that I'm evil. They worry that everybody's saying the reporters are fake news, so they're in danger, and don't worry about what Trump says. Now they say I'm evil. Supposed to wipe out evil.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Jim. Here's the thing. Here's why. Let me explain something about fascism. And this is what Hannah Arendt was getting to with her now famous banality of evil phrasing. It requires participation. One man cannot be a fascist. In other words, can't impose fascism on a society. You have to have myriad accomplices, ordinary people, right? So here's why Trump can't impose, even if you say Trump's instinct is fascist, which I don't think it is. But let's say that for the sake of the argument of the Antifa and their cohorts at CNN. Here's why I can't. Even if Trump had 90% approval rating, he couldn't claim that he had achieved fascism because the rift between Trump and the church, Trump and the arts, Trump and the business community, let alone the reality of Trump and his sub 40% approval rating. All these children running around screaming fascism, and I include that CNN in the categorization of children, none of them can look away from their phones for 5 minutes. They're slaves to technology, devotees to technology. But fascism is totalitarianism where the people, the government, arts, technology all become one. From business to the arts to the hoi polloi, everyone must be on board, or most everyone, and squash anyone who is not. Trump will never achieve that, even if it was his desire. Let's, again, assume for the sake of argument that's his desire. It's silly, but let's assume for the sake of argument it's not achievable. Now, the flip side is Antifa and all their allies in the arts and academia and the Fourth Estate and government. So who's better positioned to impose their will and seems intent on doing it? This story yesterday, did you see this? Armed Antifa group launching a new cell in Philadelphia with support from the alt-left media, calling itself the Revolutionary Abolitionist Movement. They are promoting violence against the police, theft of goods, and armed insurrection. The destruction of black life continues unabated as millions languish in the plantations of the modern-day slave system, and so on and so forth. Mosques are being ruthlessly bombed. The LGBTQ are being battered. This is the solidarity and marginality propaganda that is promulgated to generate the outrage and get ordinary people who wouldn't otherwise commit violence to fold in with the mobocracy. They're promoting violence. Our Enemies in Blue is one of their anti-police workshops.
Really?
Yeah.
What do they teach you to do at those workshops?
So, but you want to have a conversation of fascism, of totalitarian systems and how they come about. With all due respect to the esteemed Fordham law professor that's quoted in the CNN piece, what I described is how they actually come about, what actually happened in Germany and other totalitarian states. Civil society and the state become one. And so it takes complicity from the leadership of those civic institutions and sectors that I described. And you don't have that with Trump, and you won't. And Trump's instinct isn't that again, but just for the sake of argument. What about Antifas? What about what we're seeing happening on college campuses and their own statements about what their intentions are? Philip in Blue Island.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, this morning, I just turned the radio on, and this guy was on there. He just came on one of your callers, and he said, well, she's surprised that a black person hasn't called in yet, and referred to the lottery as being rigged or whatever
Racist.
because a black person didn't win.
No, he
You made a joke out of it, and
Yeah.
Amy didn't say anything.
So?
I'm just saying that to say how easy it is for to just look the other way when racist things are said or implied.
Okay, Philip, stop. First of all, I don't think the caller said that. I'm surprised a black person didn't call in and say that it was racist because a black person didn't win. I think
he called in and said, "Isn't somebody going to say the Powerball is
isn't
racist?"
Isn't somebody going to say it's racist because a
solar
person
eclipse is racist?
because a person of color didn't win? That's not a racist statement. It's even if he said a black person, don't care. It's sarcasm.
And see, that's the part of it, and everything is sarcasm.
Oh God, Philip, take a hike. You're unserious. You're an unserious person. Nothing, no black person can be drawn. We've had this phony baloney cartoon controversy for the last week in Illinois. No black person can be parodied. I mean, and you can't say in this context with, as you were just mentioning, Amy, we talked about earlier this week, an Atlantic, a 4,500-word think piece, quote unquote, in the Atlantic about how the solar eclipse was racist. And you can't have somebody call in and say, I'm surprised somebody isn't claiming the Powerball is racist because a black person or a person of color didn't win. That's a racist statement. That's absurd. That's absurd. This is looking for enemies, Philip. Looking for enemies. And seeing them even in the mirror. Grow up.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Big Fun Friday for the company picnic. It's going to be sunny and nice, a high of 73 degrees. Your weekend looks pretty good. Saturday, we're going to have some sun, some high clouds, a high of 78 degrees. And on Sunday, we'll have clouds, a couple of thunderstorms around later in the afternoon, so that should not affect the Chicago Triathlon, which takes place Sunday morning. A high on Sunday near 80 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan on Chicago's west side. North Lawndale got a fire, 18th and Avers, east of Pulaski. Palatine crashed with entrapment, reported Palatine Road at Quentin. Edens to Kennedy are fine right now. Inbound Eisenhower, you get a 2-minute delay from Manheim to First Avenue. Inbound Stevenson, about a 5-minute delay central to Kedzie. Also a little slow at Lakeshore Drive. Inbound Orion, delay start at 31st. It's 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 18. Tollways are looking pretty good. Northbound Tri-State, a little sluggish, approaching the 83rd Street toll and also approaching the Eisenhower. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
A really great deal only comes about once in a blue moon, or if you're very lucky, an eclipse. So Chicago Radio Deals decided to have a blowout sale this week only to celebrate the great American eclipse. Fun and adventure are just a click away at chicagoradiodeals.com. Here's the 411. Most deals at chicagoradiodeals.com are already half off the retail price, but this week only, use the promo code ECLIPSE2017 at checkout and get another 20% off. Explore the deals for dance lessons from Fred Astaire Dance Studio, musical instruments from our friends at Midlothian Music. Check out rounds of golf at Golf Club of Illinois, range time from the range at 3:55 and more. There's still plenty of summer left, folks. There's tickets to live music, comedy, Lake Michigan cruises, bed and breakfast, overnight stays in Wisconsin, spa treatments. Find it all at chicagoradiodeals.com. And remember to use the promo code ECLIPSE2017. That's ECLIPSE2017 at checkout for yet another 20% off this week only.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
Depression. You need to make it go away. Cure or remission is here. The revolutionary treatment of TMS.
800-604-0208.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive. Here's how it works. There are areas of the brain that control mood. If you suffer from depression, research has found these areas to be underactive. TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate these mood centers, causing long-term, medication-free relief. HBR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin offer TMS. End the frustration with life and relationships.
It's FDA cleared and it is covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare.
Dangerous drugs and other treatments just mask the depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation.
800-604-0208.
HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Schrank Smoke & Gun is excited to announce their zero tax deal for all store-owned firearms, ammo, and accessories in August. The price you see is the price you pay. Plus, AM 560 listeners get a free box of range ammo with all firearm purchases. You already know Schrank's has Lake County's largest selection of new, used, and consignment pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, and full gunsmith services. And that in Schrank's humidors you'll find a great selection of your favorite cigars. But this August offer is huge. Zero tax on all firearms, ammos, accessories, and a free box of range ammo when you purchase a firearm. Find out for yourself why Schrank's is the firearm store generations of customers trust. Visit gun.org or call 877-662-4034. Like Schrank's on Facebook and keep up with Schrank's valuable series of employee product and service recommendations. Schrank's Smoke & Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. If your roof is needy, if your roof is leaky,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof isn't right after it's stormy and shingles are curly,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof is looking needy, call Crumweedy. This is Mark Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Greg Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You really can't do that unless you do really amazing roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we really want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is really the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. You know, a lot of companies don't do that, and that could really void your warranty.
No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
For your needy roof, go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
5:57. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with a full update. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood, southwest side, firefighters have extinguished a blaze in a 3-story building at 18th and Avers, just east of Pulaski. Southbound Lakeshore Drive at 47th south side, report of a rollover crash. Eden's outbound heavy Montrose to Wilson with a crash in the 2 left lanes. 25 minutes Montrose to Lake Cook, inbound 20. The Kennedy's okay for now. The Eisenhower got about a 3-minute delay from Manheim to First Avenue. Inbound Stevenson delays start before Central. It's 40 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the Verge. Issue 418, traffic, service of Dove Men Plus Care. Did you hear that 91% of guys that use Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant recommend it? Dove Men Plus Care user Daniel said that his armpits aren't the worst thing at the gym anymore. Make the locker room a better place. Pick up some new Dove Men Plus Care for your gym bag at your local retailer. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, mostly sunny, high 73. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 58. Sun and clouds tomorrow, high 78. And a partly cloudy night with a low tomorrow night, 62. Thunderstorms around Sunday, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 57 at O'Hare. The news, a service of LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard. LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats. Stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to lifelock.com, promo code RISK to save 10%. 5:59 on AM 560, The Answer, and here are the stories we're following at this hour. Disgraced former CPS CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett reports to prison on Monday at the federal prison camp in Alderson, West Virginia. Mayor Emanuel applauding state lawmakers for coming to a school funding agreement for leaders in the Illinois House and Senate, and the governor are expected to meet again before the House convenes next week. Police in northwest Indiana identify a woman whose body was found in a ditch in Michigan City, but are not yet saying how she died. Reds score 3 in the 8th to rally for a win over the Cubs, while the White Sox turn back the Twins. 57 degrees at O'Hare. More Dan and Amy after Fox News. And WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
The Gulf Coast in the bullseye. I'm Lisa Brady. Fox News. Texas preparing for what could be a major hurricane.
Water, canned goods, some fruit, lots of pouches for my little boy to eat. So just trying to be prepared.
Harvey's already a Category 2 storm and could be a Cat 3 when it makes landfall, expected around Corpus Christi late today or early tomorrow.
Making landfall, and then we're not sure where it goes because there is no steering. It is going to remain perhaps offshore and bring incredible amounts of rain to areas that just can't take the rainfall.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean, more than 40 inches of rain possible in the worst hit areas, plus a storm surge of up to 12 feet. Evacuations continue. Louisiana could also face flooding 12 years since Hurricane Katrina. And there could be ripple effects around the country on air travel and gas prices.
Harvey could disrupt operations at oil refineries along the Gulf Coast, potentially hurting fuel supplies and driving up prices. 2 refineries in Corpus Christi, Texas have already shut down.
Fox Business Network's Tracy Carrasco. President Trump urging Gulf Coast residents to prepare, tweeting government websites, also visiting FEMA's National Response Center. The president keeping up the pressure on fellow Republicans in Congress. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Lisa, President Trump wants money for the border wall, and he's holding the threat of a government shutdown over lawmakers' heads. But Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders played down reports of growing rift between the president and members of his own party.
Certainly there are going to be some policy differences, but there are also a lot of shared goals, and that's what we're focused on.
Sanders dodged questions about President Trump's campaign promise to make Mexico pay for the wall. Republican leaders have signaled they want to avoid a government shutdown. Lisa.
Meantime, Rachel, moments ago, the president tweeting that few administrations, if any, have done as much in 7 months. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Summer's not over yet. Join AM 560 and the Naperville JCs for Naperville's Last Fling. It's happening over Labor Day weekend in downtown Naperville. Enjoy games and rides at the Family Funland Carnival. Sign up for the Rooster 5K or the Fling Mile, or enjoy live music on 2 stages. Purchase your seats now to see Bret Michaels on Saturday, September 2nd, and the Bare Naked Ladies on Sunday, September 3rd. Get your tickets and learn more at lastfling.org. That's lastfling.org.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. The sort of shave that cuts clean without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And because Harry's is so confident in the quality of their blades, they'll send you their most popular set, complete with a razor, one of their world-famous blades, shaving cream, and post-shave balm for free if you cover shipping. A total value of $20 at no cost to you, with code 0505 at checkout. Their way of saying thank you for trying them. How is Harry's able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures the blades. That's how. Go to harrys.com now and enter code 0505 at checkout to claim your free trial set and post-shave balm. That's harrys.com, code 0505.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And just a programming note. Next week on Chicago's Morning Answer, Criminal Justice Week. We've got John Pfaff, Fordham University law professor, Carl Hart, who's the chair of the Department of Psychology at Columbia, Eugene Jarecki, the Emmy Award-winning director of the documentary The House I Live In. Have you seen that, Amy?
No, but that's my homework assignment for the weekend.
Correct. And we're efforting David Simon, the writer-producer for The Wire, and others, kind of a wide-ranging discussion, different perspectives on incarceration rates, on the criminalization of nonviolent behavior, particularly drug use we're talking about here, the racial disparities in sentencing, kind of the whole gamut of criminal justice issues, some of the possible solutions, some of the points of disagreement. So it should be a lot of good conversations. The House I Live In, great documentary. About 5 years old. You should check that out.
Can I get an Amazon on demand, Netflix?
Amazon. Certainly Amazon.
Okay.
Maybe Netflix. I'm not sure, but I know Amazon. All right. Yesterday, late afternoon, a deal was reached between Republicans and Democrats, the governor and the speaker, on school funding, K-12 school funding. And trying to sift through winners and losers here, and ultimately, more importantly, impacts.
Well, the winners are the children, Dan, because it's always about the kids, right?
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes people look at this and say, "Well, Rahm's happy, so Rauner must have lost." Oh, okay. Well, the Illinois Education Association, the Chicago Teachers Union are unhappy about a big victory that Rauner got in the deal. So did he lose? And kind of winning and losing is, I think, sort of missing the point. So here's just the top line for me. All right. Take your calls on this 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. The top line is this is a huge victory for choice in education for low to middle income families. There was the only structural change that was under discussion that is part of this conversation was the tax credit scholarships that are part of the deal. That's the only change. Does this deal throw bad money after bad money at the Chicago public school system? It does.
Yeah, aren't they going to be able to pay for the teachers' pensions? Just like they do for other districts. No, that's what Channel 7 was
Yes.
touting. They said the state will pay for teacher pensions just like they do for other districts in the state.
Yes. So
that was the win aspect maybe for Mayor Emanuel.
right. So is it throwing bad money after bad money? The answer is yes. Is it fairly characterized as bailing out Chicago from their own mismanagement and scams, like half of the properties in the city being in TIF districts, artificially deflating the property value and thus the property taxes that are collected to support the Chicago public school system? Is that part of it? Yep, sure is. But here's the rub with that. You Illinois voters, we Illinois voters, have given the governor the political landscape which he has. We gave Illinois Governor Rauner, and we've also given him essentially supermajority control of the General Assembly for Chicago Democrats. That's the landscape that actually exists, right? And so that's our expression of who we want in public office and who we want making policy. So when you say, Madigan and Cullerton, we want you there forever, and we're going to fill in underlings under you so that you have majority control and can dictate terms on so many issues, well, yeah, you're going to get rolling bailouts of Chicago. You're going to get papering over the excesses of big government Democrats and complicit Republicans. So that's what happened. So there was no, and unfortunately, the Republican Party is still searching for an identity. In this discussion, started from the same premise as the Democrats, evidence-based school funding. So whether it was Rauner's amendatory veto, which redirected the Chicago bailout money through the school funding formula to the rest of the schools in the state, so that, as we talked about in this show, 97% of the schools received more money under Rauner's amendatory veto than they did under the Democrats' plan. So when that happens, there's going to have to be some horse trading, because they're basically both supporting the system. They're redirecting a portion of the money differently. That's not structural change. That does nothing to change the trajectory of K through 12 education in terms of the quality or the financing of it. Nothing. So was Rauner's AV better than what Chicago Democrats sent him on school funding? Sure it was. And oh, by the way, you know who opposed Rauner's AV despite 97% of the schools getting more money? School superintendents who were going to get more money because they're beholden to the Democrats. Democrats in the Senate whose schools were going to get more money but voted to override the governor's veto. Democrats in the House whose schools were going to get more money but were prepared to vote to override Governor Rauner's amendatory veto. So the people whose constituents and school districts were benefiting under Rauner's amendatory veto were against his amendatory veto. Do you get it? It's politics and it's power, and they have it. And they're getting backed up by your school districts. So for the people who say Tiny Dancer is celebrating, so Rauner must have lost, take a look at your school districts and your school district leadership and your state legislators, because they're voting against your interests, like more resources for your school districts at the expense of Chicago rather than more resources for Chicago at the expense of your school districts. That's the landscape, ladies and gentlemen. And so on that landscape, what's the opportunity you have? What's the one structural change you can make in K through 12 education that's not only has legacy impact for the governor, but more importantly, enfranchises tens of thousands of families, low to middle income families, with the same choices that the rich and the politically connected have. It's the tax credit scholarship. And here's what the tax credit scholarship does as part of this deal. $100 million tax credit scholarship program, 75% tax credit. So it's, $100 million, $75 million in tax credits to voluntary donors. Remember, this is new money into the system. Oh, you're repurposing money away from CPS or away from the schools, as these hack superintendents and racist demagogues like Karen Lewis are claiming. This is stealing money from black and brown children. That's what the teachers' unions are saying. Giving money to families who don't have it to make the schooling choice for their children that they can currently, that's taking money, according to Karen Lewis, in this Orwellian world in which we live.
So where's this money coming from? It's
voluntary donations to essentially sanctioned nonprofit scholarship granting organizations, SGO, scholarship granting organizations, that will then distribute according to the strictures of the statute. So here's the deal. So here are the particulars here. Because listen up.
This is big news.
Middle income families, listen up. Families earning up to 300% of the federal poverty rate are eligible, a family of four. That's $80,000 household income annualized. Okay. They can later earn up to 400% of poverty after initially qualifying. So that takes you close to six figures. 80 families with household income of $80,000 or less qualify for these scholarships. All right? Let me continue. The tax credit scholarship will cover up to 100% of private school tuition, up to the maximum of the average Illinois cost to educate, which is roughly $12,300 scholarships. So you're talking about, you want to send your kid to Ignatius or Bennett or, pick a great school.
Francis Parker.
Northridge.
Latin.
Well, if you can make up the difference, you say I can pay $30. If I could get the tuition down to $15,000 to go to Latin, or $18,000 to send my kid to Latin, then you can make up the difference. But I mean, you're talking about great schools with great track records that a family making the median household income in Illinois is like $55,000. There's no way you could afford that, right? But with these scholarships, these middle income families can afford to send their kids to better schools, whether you're in the city or the suburbs. $12,300. That's up to, that's basically $50,000 worth of scholarship at the K through 12 level to send your kid to a better school. English language learners or those with special education qualifications get larger scholarships. They can be as much as double the standard scholarship, so up to $24,600. The program sunsets in 5 years, but in 5 years, you're going to build a constituency of families whose children are receiving these scholarships and charting their course. And what happens when you create a constituency? Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for the Democrats, even as beholden to the teachers union as they are, to unring this bell. Here's what happened in Florida. Let's use real-world examples. Florida, under Jeb Bush, when they had control of the governor's mansion and the legislature, and that's a little bit more of a red state, generally speaking, than Illinois, wouldn't you say? They started out at $25 million fund, and this is about 15 years ago. Today, that fund is $600 million.
Wow.
Tens of thousands of families participating, mostly Hispanic and African American in Florida, and benefiting as a result. So the only structural reform that was available is the one that was secured. That's why this is a win. The bailout of Chicago, the lighting hundreds of millions of more dollars on fire in the centrally planned K through 12 systems in this state, that was baked in. You weren't going to change that. Not with the political leadership that the voters of Illinois have given the state. Wasn't going to happen. To accomplish this with that landscape that I'm describing is nothing short of miraculous. And let me tell you, here's a real lesson in politics. It's about aligning interests, not about making friends. You know who deserves much of the credit for this?
Who?
Cardinal Cupich.
Oh.
Cardinal Supich, who I've regularly excoriated on this show for his forays into labor economics and climate science and all kinds of things. Toleration, if not admiration, for race hustlers like Father Flagler. But on this, his leadership was instrumental because you had to get Madigan and Cullerton on board. Maybe Cardinal Sue. I mean, he's not auditioning for the job.
Was it divine intervention?
No, it wasn't. It was hard work.
No, yeah.
And it was smart, strategic work. Cardinal Supich, with the One Chance Illinois folks, it's a nonprofit advocacy group. They put together a broad-based coalition that included trade unions and police and fire, across the political spectrum. Black, white, Latino, the whole thing, because people get it. My kids are relegated to terrible schools in Chicago and elsewhere that haven't educated anybody except accidentally in generations, and that's unfair. Shouldn't be that way. My kids should have access to the extent that they can achieve, but have access from kindergarten to as good a schools as Rom's kids do, as Dan Proft got to go to, as anybody else. Exactly. So you want to talk about all that? You want to spend your time talking about all this race baiting nonsense that we've had to obsess about for the last 2 weeks? Or do you want to talk about actual substantive improvements in the lives of children and families? It's mainly based on socioeconomic status, but of course it's disproportionately Latino and African American when we're talking about big urban centers like Chicago. That's a fact. And here's another fact. What happens when families get choice? Eva Moskowitz, who's the founder and CEO of Success Academy Charter Schools in New York, had a good piece in the Journal this week. Here's what Success Academy has done. Scaling models that work. This, you could say the same thing about Tim King's Urban Prep Academy schools in Chicago.
Yeah.
But listen to this. The results of 2017 New York State tests were released Tuesday. In Central Harlem, the number of students meeting rigorous Common Core math standards has more than doubled since 2013. Students attending charter schools account for 96% of that growth. Results for English language are similarly inspiring. The highest performing charter schools like Success Academy have actually reversed the achievement gap. Reversed the achievement gap. Black and Hispanic students from Central Harlem's 7 Success Academy schools outperform white students across the city by 33 points in math and 21 points in reading. Low-income students outperform the city's affluent students by 38 and 24 points in math and reading, respectively. Yeah, that's what happens. It's not about these kids can't achieve, these families won't make the choices, even if given the resources to make the choices. That's a bunch of hogwash. That's a bunch of teachers' union racist bull jive. They're the discriminators. You want to have an honest conversation about race? Let's talk about it. Because most of the advocates for this tax credit scholarship and most of the beneficiaries are disconnected. I mean, there's a tax credit scholarship program in Illinois. There isn't. Doesn't impact me.
Your imaginary family.
Well, right. But I mean, my parents sacrificed for me. I got a good education. If this whole place burns down, I'm going to be fine. I'm lucky because I had good parents who sacrificed. I got a good education. Can you say the same about the 85% of black and brown kids in CPS? I don't think you can. Can you say the same about a lot of white kids in middle to lower middle income suburbs? You can't. It's not about race. It's about opportunity. And what tax credit scholarships do is provide opportunity for kids for whom opportunity has been foreclosed by the system, by the central planners, and mostly by the politicians who spend all their time talking about how much they're focused on those children and those families. And the more a politician talks about the focus on those children and those families, the less you know, the more you know, the less they are actually interested in advancing the cause. It's a cover story. It's a misdirection play. That's what you're getting from the unions in the wake of this deal, even as we pour a lot more money into these failing systems like CPS. But this is a real deal. This is a real deal. And tens of thousands of children are going to have a completely different K through 12 education experience and completely different opportunities as a result because of the deal that was cut yesterday. To me, that's a win. It was the only win available, and it's a huge transformational win for the state of Illinois. And that's not something that we get to say very much in the state in the recent past. So as critical as I am of the Republican Party and politicians in general, the Cardinal, as I mentioned, on this one, Cardinal Cupich, Governor Rauner, the negotiating teams, including on the Republican state senators Dan McConkey and Jason Barrickman, they deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a lot of credit.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Can't wait for it to be set up to see the application process.
Yeah.
I don't know if I qualify though, but we'll discuss.
You probably shouldn't openly talk about this on the air, especially if you're going to have fun with numbers on the application.
Today, mostly sunny nights, a high of 73 degrees. Your weekend looks pretty good. A Saturday, mostly sunny skies, a high near 80. And on Sunday for the Chicago Triathlon, you'll be fine. There's only a 20% chance of a passing thunderstorm, and that would take place in the afternoon. A high on Sunday, also near 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Are things heating up there? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Unfortunately, Amy, they are in a bad way. Good morning, Dan. Northwest of Chicago, we got a couple of crashes with injuries. One is in Palatine Road at Quentin. One is farther northwest in Huntley, Higgins, 72 at Tyrell Road. Southwest side of North Lawndale, 18th is blocked in Springfield and Hamlin after a fire. Edens, 20 minutes like Cook to Montrose outbound 23 after a crash at Wilson. Kennedy, 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown outbound 21. In Von Eisenhower, delays start at Manheim. 34 minutes, Thorndale to the post office outbound 30. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. The Rhine is 30 from 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive for Hyde Park Boulevard. There's an overturned vehicle. Delays on the southbound Tri-State, Lawrence to Irving Park, and northbound. A few slow spots here and there. Otherwise, the tollways look good. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
We went through the experience with Townstone. The experience was amazing. We had a point person that took control of the refi. The communication was specific and exactly what we needed to do. That I was never in the dark in the process. So I knew when I needed to get documents. I knew exactly what I needed. I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639, equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Oh, I had my joints all ached. My sciatic nerve was really bad. Like 10 hours, my eyes were so tired and heavy and almost burning. And then when I woke up in the morning, there was this nagging pain. I mean, it hurt to open them. And just in a week, I don't have the nagging pain anymore. My joints stopped hurting, and I'm in wood season. I'm lugging wood right now, and I'm not hurting. So that's, amazing for me. I'm usually really suffering. It's pretty effective. And so now, like I said, my husband and I are both taking it, and he even said his joints aren't aching as much, and he's feeling better.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Hey, you've heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance. But they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Dan, the media was all over Governor Rauner yesterday. They wanted to know about this staff shakeup, what's going on. They followed him from event to event. And he talked about it. You know, change happens. There's no there.
I disagree with the characterization of turmoil. Change, it comes as part of any organization. We've had some folks with us since before I became governor. Some folks joined us in the first couple months and have been there since. Other folks have moved back into the private sector at various points over the last 2.5 years. That it's just part of the process. I have seen it now. I understand why some people would be upset by it. I hope we can together as a society, together as the people of Illinois, together as all Americans, that we can work to find common ground, work for justice, fairness, equality.
Second part of that interview was him talking about responding to that alleged racist, controversial cartoon from the Illinois Policy Institute that showed a African-American kid with a Cubs hat on asking for money for schools from a big fat white cat with a TIF sign in his pocket.
Yeah.
And
that was racist against big fat white people who get insider deals for TIF money to do development in Chicago.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it was racist against.
So, but he didn't come out and call it racist. So reporters hounded him all day. And then finally, LaShawn Ford, state rep, right? LaShawn Ford?
Yeah, West Side.
Yeah. While Governor Rauner was speaking, he decides to get in his face. It was so embarrassing. Just listen to what happened.
Can you apologize?
Let me be clear. I'm not apologizing for anything that I have nothing to do with. Let me be crystal clear. And that organization that did that cartoon, they should talk to you about what their views are on it, and I'm not gonna.
So I thought he completely schooled him, because LaShawn Ford, for him to get up while the governor's speaking and get in his face and demand an apology, Governor Bruce Rauner was right. He had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, and the cartoon is, as we played Charles Thomas and Maze Jackson on VON yesterday, this is a cheap racial politics. Even though I like LaShawn Ford, it's sad to see him stoop to this level. Cheap racial politics from political hacks. And you have more and more people weighing in. Eddie Reed issued a statement. There's a well-known black civil rights activist in Chicago, issued a statement on behalf of the Illinois Policy Institute yesterday.
What did he say? Just
basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
And Corey Brooks, of course, also a pastor in Chicago, issued a statement as well. He works in the Woodlawn neighborhood.
Yeah, we're familiar with him.
Instead of fighting against injustice and inequality in our education funding system, our lawmakers have decided to slander the Illinois Policy Institute with accusations of racism and bigotry. Witnessing the Institute's work on behalf of our community, those accusations couldn't be further from the truth. But sadly, it's not surprising to me that politicians have made them so carelessly. The cartoon speaks to the dangerous truth about the nature of TIF slush funds and how they affect our children. And speaking truth to power is not tolerated in Chicago, especially when the truth shines a spotlight on how politicians have failed our city's black community. So there's Corey Brooks. So you decide who's thinking more lucidly. Is it Pastor Brooks or is it Representative Ford?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Nancy Pelosi, constitutional scholar, tells us the limits of the First Amendment in very innovative terms. 6:36.
And size shaming. A principal says not to wear leggings unless you're a size 0. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
59 degrees. Residents of Yemen's capital say Saudi-led airstrikes have hit at least 3 homes in the capital of Sana'a, killing 14 civilians, women, and children among the death toll. Wind speeds of 110 miles an hour and gaining strength this morning. That is the status of Hurricane Harvey, powerful Category 2 storm churning the waters of the Gulf, headed toward Texas with life-threatening rainfall, according to reporter Taylor Millard.
There are some mandatory evacuations for smaller areas in between Corpus Christi and Houston, but most people are planning on sticking things out.
Harvey forecast to build up to Category 3 strength. Many airlines expecting major cancellations in Texas and in New Orleans and delays. They're waiving fees for travelers to and from the Gulf Coast. The winner of the second largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history will not be going to work today.
I work currently at Mercy Medical Center, and I was there for 32 years, and I was a unit extender patient care type thing. I've called them and told them I will not be coming back.
State Lottery headquarters yesterday, Mavis Wanchik of Massachusetts she said she's not coming back because of the $700+ million lottery jackpot that she landed. Disgraced former CPS CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett reports to prison on Monday, the federal prison camp in Alderson in southeastern West Virginia. Chicago police believe a Southwest Side shooting may be linked to a rash of robberies in the city and in Hammond, Indiana. And authorities are searching for the man who robbed a bank in Downers Grove. The FBI says the suspect entered a U.S. Bank branch on Ogden Avenue and ran off with an unspecified amount of cash. Reds over the Cubs 4-2. White Sox turn back the Twins 5-1. The news, a service of LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard, but LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats, stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, promo code RISK, save 10%. 6:35 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Dennis Prager Show. The Dennis Prager Show.
I wish it were different. It is a civil war in this country. YouTube and Google and the universities and the media are all on the left and wish to squash us. Do you understand that? If you don't, you're a fool.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
Your logo is your brand, your reputation. It's your most valuable asset. So what's the best thing to do with it? Give it away.
When the experts at 4imprint put your logo on the right promotional products, giving those items away can make a lasting impression, empower your brand, and attract new customers. In fact, we'll prove it by revealing the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free. Simply text the keyword GIVE to 642-642. We don't just print your logo. We're here to help you every step of the way. The 4imprint team can make your logo shine on your choice of thousands of promotional items, all delivered on time at great prices with free art assistance and outstanding customer service that's second to none. Want to turn your logo into profit? Give it away. Discover the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free by texting GIVE to 642-642. That's GIVE to 642-642.
6:37, and a quick check of the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Northbound Lakeshore Drive is jammed past Hayes before 53rd. There's a rollover crash. It's heavy southbound starting at Hyde Park Boulevard. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose outbound 23. Kennedy 27 minutes, O'Hare to downtown outbound 24. The Eisenhower's 36 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Stevenson 43 minutes, 355 to the drive. The Ryan 30 from 95th to downtown. Traffic service of Dove Men Plus Care. Did you hear? 91% of guys that use Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant recommended. Dove Men Plus Care user Daniel said his armpits aren't the worst thing at the gym anymore. Make the locker room a better place. Pick up some new Dove Men Plus Care for your gym bag at your local retailer. It's traffic on AM 560.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast: sunny and nice. We'll top out at 73, partly cloudy, 58 overnight. Currently, we have 60 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. I got no problem with Trump calling out Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. They haven't done a damn thing. Keep it up, Trump. We'll talk about it when freedom returns at 5.
Good morning.
I had the authority.
Is that a voice in my head? Or Dan and Amy, Nancy Pelosi, she is the House Democrat leader.
Yeah, we're familiar with her work.
Mm-hmm. She gave an interview to a San Francisco TV station.
But she's wishing this morning that she never gave him that interview.
This is in part to repeat her call that the National Park Service deny permits to any alleged alt-right demonstrations, including one called Patriot Prayer. She said these elements should not be allowed to use a national park to spew forth their venom. And then she gave us a little tutorial in First Amendment jurisprudence.
Oh, I love that.
Please we'll turn over the floor to Officer of the Congress, Nancy Pelosi.
How could the Park Service justify denying that organization their free speech rights?
Because the Constitution does not say that a person can yell wolf in a crowded theater. If you are endangering people, then you don't have a constitutional right to do that.
Wait, what?
The famous incantation that you're not allowed to yell wolf in a crowded theater, Nancy Pelosi referring to that.
You're not allowed to yell wolf?
Right.
Wolf! Wolf.
You are allowed to yell wolf in a crowded theater, as it turns out.
You can't yell fire.
Right. That's the
theater.
Yeah, that was the dicta from the Schenck decision some nearly 100 years ago with respect to when free speech crosses over into essentially incitable conduct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what she's getting at. Yeah, wolf in a crowded theater. It's a leader of the Democrat caucus in the House. Wolf in a crowded theater.
She may be thinking of Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah,
I mean,
perhaps.
I'm just saying.
Sure.
Maybe he was on the monitor.
Now, in addition to her misstatement of Oliver Wendell Holmes, boy, these people. In addition to that, she's actually got the constitutional law wrong in addition to the reference. it is without question unconstitutional to deny a permit to a group because public officials deem the group's speech venomous. This like Potter Stewart standard that Nancy Pelosi is advancing. I know speech that's conduct when I hear it. No, that doesn't work. And because this is the Park Service and it's public property, this would be government abridging these individuals' First Amendment rights. Yes, law enforcement is required to protect individuals. They're also required to protect individual liberty. And that's the part that Pelosi leaves out. And it's interesting because we talked about another example of this earlier this week with this op-ed that was penned in the Wall Street Journal by the CEO of Cloudflare, this big internet network company.
Yeah.
About them shutting down a neo-Nazi website and him then having kind of pangs of reflection about, well, was that a good thing that we did, or have we put ourselves on a slippery slope?
Or they could face litigation, yeah.
Well, more than facing litigation, I mean, the propriety.
So it was a moral issue for him?
Well, the propriety of it. With the disproportionate control, now this is the private internet, so this is a different kettle of fish than the National Park Service, but it's a question that people should be asking that have this much power over the internet, as bigger companies like Google and Microsoft do, but Cloudflare does too. It's just not a household name, as the CEO mentioned. And here's his defense of the website, of the decision they made to essentially take down the website by eliminating the flow of traffic to it.
I found the Daily Stormer repugnant. I am not shedding a tear that content isn't online anymore. But one of my fellow employees came up to me the day that we took it offline and said, hey, is this the day the internet dies?
There was no due process. You woke up one morning and you said, this is bad and I'm going to do something about it.
The thing that was the tipping point for us was I woke up one day and opened Twitter, and there were a whole bunch of screenshots of some of the people behind the site saying Cloudflare actually supports us and the upper echelons of their leadership are white nationalists.
But that's easily dismissed, though, isn't it?
You're absolutely right, but what it had become was such a distraction that we couldn't have the really important conversation about what role should Cloudflare be playing in regulating the internet. And so I am deeply concerned that I had the authority and the power to wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm done. These guys, I'm sick of this, so f them. They're off the internet.
What about that? Do you agree with the decision that the Cloudflare CEO made? Did you enjoy Nancy Pelosi's dissertation on the First Amendment? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636-DA, turnkey.pro.
What I'm enjoying is social media's response to her. David French, good friend of the show.
National Review, right?
Yeah. Sigh. How many things can she get wrong in 90 short seconds?
She tends to outdo herself.
Wayne Dupree, Pelosi, the Constitution does not say that a person can yell wolf in a crowded theater.
No, it does not.
I thought they closed down the Ringling Brothers Circus. I mean, it's just, I don't know what she was thinking. She wasn't thinking.
Well, I mean, this is nothing to be taken lightly. The reaction or the removal of the possibility for reaction from these sites. Now, again, these are private sector enterprises. They have the right to limit access to their networks. Twitter has a right to ban you. Facebook has a right to ban you, and so on and so forth. But are we moving into an era where, because there is such concentration of control in the hands of a few with respect to the internet and social media, and they are all seemingly of one perspective, where you really do have danger? Or will the market work itself out if conservatives are precluded from particular sites or from popular social media portals? then we'll
But I don't-
create your own communication
don't
channels or go to old communication channels that still exist, like say talk radio.
I don't want censorship of all right groups because I want to know what they're thinking and what they're planning and what their next step is. But then again, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I want censorship of ISIS recruiters who use Twitter and Facebook to recruit people.
You also want to ban Facebook Live because
Yes, I do.
Because people do bad things on Facebook Live.
Yes, they do.
Even though people also do good things like host.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything good on Facebook
Nothing
Live.
good has ever been
The only
posted
thing
on
brought
Facebook
to
Live.
me is nefarious activity
Yeah.
and suicides and suicide attempts and murders, Dan.
You should put in an application to Cloudflare. Maybe be their comm
Oh,
director.
no, you did. Yeah. Thank you.
By the way, a related story, ACLU taking a lot of heat. You know what they did? Boy, they crossed the line
with
here.
With the white baby.
They
With the white baby?
They ACLU, the national organization, the mothership,
Yes.
posted a tweet. This is the future that ACLU members want, and it's a little girl wearing a free speech T-shirt. I mean, she's probably like 2 or 3 years old.
She's 2.
And
She's not even 3 yet.
She's holding an American flag in the one hand and a little
Let me see.
My Little Pony stuffed animal or something in the other
She's
hand.
going to be a brony.
Well, she wouldn't be a brony. 'cause
She wouldn't
she's
be a brony
girl.
'cause she's a girl.
Yeah, so
So,
it's
like-
appropriate. Yeah, and she's 2.
I'm saying the bronies want the toy that she has in her hand.
Yes.
Yes, and the
You're making it uglier than the ACLU did now. Yeah, so this drew a firestorm. Basically, this is fascist because you're showing a picture of a little white girl, a little 2-year-old white girl.
she doesn't
with
know
a-
she's a girl yet, Dan.
Oh gosh, with a flag and a stuffed animal. This is fascist. This is white supremacy. This is, I mean,
So ridiculous.
The future the ACLU wants. One person tweeted a picture. This is the future the ACLU wants in response to this, and it's a little baby with a Hitler mustache and an SS uniform. I mean, are you out of your minds? Talk about people keep talking about the sewer that is social media. Maybe we should self ban. Mike in Evanston, you're in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. So how is this different on the internet with this private company denying access to service from the bakery owner who doesn't want to provide service for a gay couple getting married? I don't see the difference. What's difference here?
Yeah, viewpoint. That's the only difference. Thanks for the call, Mike.
Remember Twitter took Milo off?
Well,
and
because-
he had a field day when he met the vice president of Twitter.
Well, the difference that the real difference legally is one group is a protected class and the other isn't. Gay people are protected class and neo-Nazis are not. The other argument you could say is, well, public place of accommodation, a bakery, right?
Mhm.
It's like the lunch counter argument. But could you increasingly say that the internet is a public place of accommodation? By the way, just on this, since you brought up the gay rights issue, Tim Gill, he's this tech cajillionaire who's contributed about $422 million to various gay rights causes over the years, and he is now targeting Christians. Resistance is futile. You cannot agree to disagree. You cannot live and let live. You shall comply. He is targeting Christians who do not support gay marriage, actively participate in promoting gay rights. It's time to, quote, punish the wicked, is what Tim Gill says in a recent interview with Rolling Stone magazine. So again, remember how this is just live and let live, and all this just civil unions. That's all. They just want equality. They're just left alone, right? They're not culture warriors. They're not trying to limit religious liberty. These are boogeymen that those who are opposed on religious grounds to being forced to bake cakes or redefine marriage. Boogeymen that are being created. Interesting. Marilyn in Hoffman Estates.
Yes, I think the pyramid should be torn down immediately. They were all built by slaves.
Okay, thanks, Marilyn. Craig in Downers Grove.
It's Clay. I just want to say I absolutely despise discrimination, but private companies have that option.
No, I understand. Yeah, right. Yeah, thanks for the call, Greg. I agree. Although some private companies do, right, and some don't. I mean, I assume that's an expression of his belief, not of the reality on the ground, because the reality on the ground is very uneven, isn't it? Dennis in Crystal Lake.
Hey, Dan, Amy.
Hey.
Hey, this our Botox babe, Pelosi. The scary thing is, not only she got an IQ of a dry sponge, but if the Republicans don't get their act together and lose the House, that's our next Speaker of the House, Miss Wolf.
Thanks for the call, Dennis.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. Reuters says Hispanic shoppers are staying home to avoid hassles from immigration authorities. American drones to the rescue. Those stories next.
If you've got a 401k, IRA, or pension plan, I've got some bad news for you. This is Brett Kitchen, and the IRS wants you to think these qualified plans are the best way to save for retirement. They give you a tax break when you contribute. Sounds good, right? Wrong. A qualified plan could be a tax disaster when you retire. With $18 trillion in debt, taxes are already going up. Imagine paying a top tax rate of over 90% like the 1960s. There's a better way. It's an alternative the ultra-rich use that beats the pants off your IRA or 401k. It's been around for years. Your money grows tax-deferred, has no taxes in retirement, and no income taxes when you die. Plus, you can grow your money potential double digits with no risk of losing money when the market crashes. If the market tanks like 2008, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now at 800-960-8585 to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, to protect yourself from taxes and crashes. Call 800-960-8585. 800-960-8585. That's 1-800-960-8585.
Hispanic shoppers are venturing out only to buy goods which are essential and cutting back on any discretionary spending, worried about possible law enforcement or immigration issues. A report by Reuters suggests that cutback in shopping is hurting retailers, especially big box stores and auto parts outlets. Economic reports we're watching for today include an update on durable goods orders, and later today, that speech by Fed Chair Janet Yellen on the economy at the summit meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. An American logistics company, Zipline, is launching the world's largest drone delivery service to ship medical supplies across Tanzania. The East African country will use the drones during disease outbreaks. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Upstream-ideas.com, our digital platform with original content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews are against the current series this week with retiring State Senator Kyle McCarter, as well as Man on the Street, Follow the Logic segments this week, asking Chicagoans to follow the logic on their support or opposition to single-payer health care. 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries from yours truly. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. Our new series, Heart of the Matter, which features professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient policy issues of the day and their impacts on families, as well as our new feature, defendhomeowners.com. It's a new portal. Get a free report on of the property taxes on your home in context. What you're paying, why you're paying it, what you would be paying, how much house you could be buying if Illinois pursued the property tax classification system that Indiana has, for example. It's really important data that you should take a look at because it's about your property, your home, as Illinois is quickly becoming a home equity desert. DefendHomeowners.com. You can also access through upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm 75 years old, and I don't eat enough vegetables or fruit. And this is a great thing to do. And it seems that I have more energy. It seems that I take that, and I take a lot of blood pressure pills and what do you call it, cholesterol. But my doctor tells me, he said, no, you might cut the dosage down on your pills because what are you taking? I said, Balance of Nature. He said he didn't know what it was, so I told him, I said it's fruits and vegetables condensed into little pill form. He goes, well, whatever it is, it's doing you a lot of good.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Hey, if your kids haven't started back to school yet, they will be in a matter of days, and it's hard to believe that it's back to school season already, but it's here. And for some parents, it's not good news, especially if you're not happy with your child's school or teacher. Maybe the issue at your public school is bullying or Common Core or maybe transgender bathrooms. Maybe it's time to make the switch this school year and send your child to a private school. And you can make that switch for half the price of regular tuition when you visit halfpriceschools.com. Just go onto their site, halfpriceschools.com. Click a school that you want to go to. There's schools located all over the Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana, places like Mount Prospect, LaSalle, Peru, Chicago, Antioch, just to name a few. But the school year is upon us, so don't wait another day and don't settle for a public school that isn't right for you and your child. Visit halfpriceschools.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Mark Weingart, President and CEO of Star Creations, Inc., the fastest growing supplier of wall decor products in the U.S. When it comes to banking, I don't want to be a small fish in a big pond. That's why I bank at Signature Bank Chicago. At Signature Bank, every customer is important. I know I can pick up the phone and talk to any one of the decision makers I know and trust at Signature Bank. At Signature Bank, they understand and respond to the unique needs of my business with flexibility and fairness. I'm proud to bank with Signature Bank because I know they're deeply invested in the success of Star Creations.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Discover Westmont, a community nestled in the heart of DuPage County. With top-notch schools, beautiful affordable housing, and excellent dining and shopping, Westmont makes a great place to live, work, and play. Choose Westmont. Discover how your business can flourish and grow with a wonderful central location providing rapid access to Chicago's key expressways, airports, and many family-friendly amenities. Add quick transportation on the Burlington train line, and that means simple and easy travel for everyone. Westmont is committed to working collaboratively with you to facilitate inquiries about your family or business relocation. We'll help your company navigate to Westmont for a great experience. Call Larry Forsberg at Westmont Economic Development at 630-824-9337. That's 630-824-9337 to find out about incentives that can help you plan your development, relocation, or expansion. Discover all Westmont has to offer. For more information, visit ChooseWestmont.com. That's ChooseWestmont.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
His brother was killed by a person in this country, in Chicago actually, illegally. Now he wants to speak to the governor about sanctuary state legislation. We're going to speak to Brian McCann at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
A disgraced former CPS CEO will report to prison early next week. The governor and top lawmakers reach a school funding agreement. We get a few details from that from AM 560's David Stewart in our next hour. Vandalized Lincoln bust on the south side will get a new home. Reds rally past the Cubs while the White Sox turn back the Twins. Have a nice weekend setting up with a high of 73 today under sunny skies. Currently, we have 60 degrees. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Get out while you still can. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That warning from Texas officials to residents in the path of Hurricane Harvey.
I'm scared, so I'm going to do everything that I can to protect our little place down here and hope and pray for the best.
It's on track to be the first major hurricane to hit the U.S. in more than a decade, the first since Katrina for the Gulf Coast.
The state of Texas has 367 miles of coast, and virtually all of it now under hurricane or tropical storm warning.
Fox's Casey Stiegel in Galveston, which could get 3 feet of rain.
The feeling of urgency is in the air down here. Grocery stores and businesses selling supplies, virtual madhouses. as those who call this region home stock up on water, bread, canned goods, and batteries. Many shelves now empty because of the rush.
Landfall expected around Corpus Christi or just north of it by tomorrow morning, possibly as a Category 3 hurricane with a storm surge of up to 12 feet. Texas and neighboring Louisiana are already saturated.
According to the National Weather Service, New Orleans is around 2 inches of rain away from this being the wettest summer season on record.
New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu mobilizing resources to deal with possible flooding into next week. The president visiting FEMA officials and tweeting about storm prep in between the messages he keeps sending to Congress. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Lisa, the president is calling on the Senate to get rid of the legislative filibuster, tweeting that without going to a simple majority vote, few bills will be passed. This as he threatens to shut down the government if Congress fails to pass funding for the border wall. Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
The president's committed to making sure this happens, and we're going to push forward.
Sanders dismissed reports of tension between the president and GOP lawmakers.
Look, I think the relationships are fine.
Saying the White House is focused on shared goals with Republicans. Lisa.
Thanks, Rachel. Fox News, fair and balanced.
60 degrees, skies are partly sunny. At 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. We're watching fire crews this morning battling a blaze in Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood. Fire began early this morning inside a 3-story apartment building near 18th and Avers. They're mopping up right now, no word of any injuries. Disgraced former CPS CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett reports to prison camp on Monday, a federal camp in Alderson, West Virginia. She'll begin serving a 4.5-year prison sentence there. Legislative leaders in Springfield have reportedly reached an agreement on a school funding reform bill. We have some details beginning to leak out, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
The compromise would eliminate the need for a House override vote of Governor Rauner's veto of the original funding bill. The bill's language is being drafted, but it reportedly includes much of the original bill, including help for Chicago teachers' pensions. Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
And for the first time, the state acknowledges they have a responsibility to Chicago teachers' pensions and to the equity to Chicago taxpayers. And that is a significant step in the right direction.
The bill also reportedly includes $75 million in tax credits for people who send children to private schools. Lawmakers will consider the bill Monday. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
A Northwest Indiana sheriff has been found guilty in a fraud and bribery trial involving an illegal towing scheme. Federal jurors in Hammond convict Lake County Sheriff John Bunchich. After 5 hours of deliberations, Bunchich remains free on bond until sentencing December 6. Bunchich is a Democrat elected in 2015 to his 4th term as sheriff of Indiana's 2nd most populous county. Children in Highland Park will not play organized tackle football as part of Park District recreation in 2017. City's Park District canceling the program because they say low registration numbers. Only 11 kids signed up this season at one time. The program had over 150. City officials say the drop in participation is due to a concern they believe about head injury. Reds over the Cubs 4-2 in Cincinnati. White Sox turn back the Twins 5-1. Bears getting sharp for a Sunday contest with the Titans in Tennessee. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Legend battery comes with a prepaid Visa card worth $15 by mail. So start every drive with a Legend and save yourself some money with a Napa Legend battery. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you know the value of good machines, then it's high time we got together. We're Bailey Industrial, builders of metal and woodworking equipment, hard-working machines for hard-working people. We stand behind our equipment and make sure our equipment stands behind you, offering you the after-sale support you need to keep your shop running smoothly, which means making sure you have what you need when you need it, typically shipping within 72 hours or less. So whether you're a fabricator or manufacturer of metal or wood products, go to Bailey.com or call 920-MACHINE and we'll send you a catalog. That's right, friend. Over 400 pages of what you love most, machines. So whatever you're looking to build or manufacture, do it with Bailey Industrial, the company you can trust to give you the equipment and service you can rely on. That's B-A-I-L-E-I-G-H. Bailey, because if it's worth doing right, it's only right to do it with Bailey. So call 920-MACHINE or go to Bailey.com now and pick up your free catalog.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. The sort of shave that cuts clean without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And because Harry's is so confident in the quality of their blades, they'll send you their most popular set, complete with a razor, one of their world-famous blades, shaving cream, and post-shave balm for free if you cover shipping. A total value of $20 at no cost to you, with code 0505 at checkout. Their way of saying thank you for trying them. How is Harry's able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures the blades. That's how. Go to harrys.com now and enter code 0505 at checkout to claim your free trial set and post-shave balm. That's harrys.com, code 0505.
7:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. South Side and West Englewood got a house fire. 64th Claremont, east of Western. 8094, very heavy on the westbound side right now with delays from Grant to Burr. The eastbound side's looking good. The toll road is fine. The Edens, it's 20 minutes from Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 24, the Kennedy, 31 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 18 from Montrose, 13 in the Express. Outbound 33 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, 38 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 34. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 16. Delays on the northbound tri-state from 95th to LaGrange Road, from the Stevenson to Ogden, and from the Reagan tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial heavy, Army Trail to 290. The other tollways are good. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A mostly sunny day for today with a high of 73, then tonight turning out to be partly cloudy, a low of 58. A blend of sun and clouds for tomorrow, high of 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 54 degrees at O'Hare, 63 along the lakefront, 45 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Attend the family-friendly Lake County Gun and Sportsman Show and free NRA Eddie Eagle Youth Sessions, Sunday, August 27th, 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the VFW in Antioch, Illinois. Visit vintagearms.com for info.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. This story was brought to our attention by our friend John Cass over at the Tribune a couple weeks back. It's the story of Dennis McCann, and it runs right into legislation that Governor Rauner is poised to sign on Monday, the so-called Trust Act, or which is how proponents of the legislation describe it, and opponents describe it as sanctuary state legislation. And we talk about the stories, the hard luck stories of children brought to this country illegally by their parents, the so-called dreamers, and otherwise people that come to this country illegally but are productive while here and peaceable.
Law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, peaceable while here. Well, they're not citizens, and by definition,
Oh,
they're not
sorry.
law-abiding
Excuse me.
because they broke the law. But okay. But anyway, you get it. Somebody's coming here to strive for a better life. You get it. You understand it. You're empathetic to it. But we have to have these things called borders. We have to have this concept of the rule of law. But we talk about those cases. Well, we need to talk about the cases, and President Trump spent a lot of time talking about them during the campaign and since, the victims' families who have been victimized by a person in this country illegally, a person that shouldn't be here. And that's a real thing, too. And it doesn't necessarily mean that immigration law is an easy thing to stitch together such that we're a welcoming nation to people that want to make a better life for themselves and thus make a better America, but we also properly and always weed out people who don't. Okay, nothing is fail-safe. But there's a difference between nothing being fail-safe and being blithely unwilling to enforce the law. And there are real consequences to the latter, and the case of Dennis McCann is one of them. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Brian McCann. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Dan and Amy.
So tell us the story of your brother, Dennis.
June 2011, he was going to visit a client of his. He was a commercial insurance broker in Logan Square about 7 o'clock at night. It was on a Wednesday night. Anyhow, he's crossing the street. This young man was a prior convicted felon, illegal alien, hit him, dragged him better part of a block, and my brother died a pretty unfortunate, violent death. A couple of good Samaritans, including an off-duty cop, apprehended this fella, and they bonded him at $250,000. And I don't know if you recall, but that was the summer that Chewy and Preckwinkle and a few others crafted an ordinance that was passed in September. They made county sanctuary, and then Rahm went a year later and made the city sanctuary. Long story short, they kept getting continuances, which confused me because it seemed to be pretty much of a slam dunk. But anyhow, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, this kid's brother comes up with $25,000 in cash, bonds him out, and he runs to Mexico, and he's down there driving a truck. And the FBI is at a loss at what to do. They got a Mexican authorities issue a warrant, but the warrant, for some odd reason, they won't act on the warrant. So that's the story.
Well,
and now we've got SB 31, and there's a bunch of us around the country that have become activists who've gone through this kind of thing. This is a very common issue with across the country, largely in California, Arizona. There's 3 or 4 cases here in Illinois. And we've become activists, and we formed an organization, advocates for victims of illegal alien crime. And our main focus right now is those of us that are in Illinois is to try to do something about SB 31, but it looks like that may be a lost cause.
Well, again, we are so sorry for your loss. It's just a horrific story. But this guy, Saul Chavez, he was arrested 2 years prior to fatally striking your brother for another drunk driving conviction. Why wasn't he deported then? Did you ever find out or ask that question?
Yeah, I talked to the people at the Chicago ICE. She's no longer there. I forgot her name now. But she told me that they were never notified. See, in those days, the law required the city police, county authorities to notify ICE, and they never did. So Chicago and Cook County apparently had an unofficial sanctuary policy, but then it became codified in 2011, as I mentioned earlier.
And you want to speak to Governor Rauner and other families that you've spoken with, want to speak to Governor Rauner before he makes his decision, apparently on Monday, with regards to the sanctuary state legislation, correct?
Yeah, we've got some sources. We reached out to Brett Baer, and Brett had him on TV 2 weeks ago. You guys might have seen, and Brett cornered him on it, and Rauner said, "Yeah, we'll meet anybody." And a friend of yours, I think he knows you, Jerry Bromley, ran into him down at the state fair, and he told Jerry, "Yeah, I'll meet with him." Then I got a call from a source. I can't tell her your name, but she said that what's her Rasmussen, Christina, who I guess just got fired or something, told her that I was on Rauner's call list. This was last Monday, and I haven't heard a thing. Right. I haven't heard a thing. In fact, I've pretty much given up. I'm going golfing today.
Oh. Well, if you could talk to Governor Rauner, what would you want to tell him? What do you want to say to him?
Veto it. The dumbest bill that ever imaginable. It's going to make it a magnet for illegal aliens. They'll be coming here in droves, hiding out in God knows where, all over the state now. I mean, it's incredible. They don't want to, it's the dumbest. And California's next. We got people out there. That's probably going to be our next project. But Brown's certainly going to sign that bill.
There's a Illinois Business Immigration Coalition. They emailed me yesterday after we had a discussion with Lake County Sheriff Mark Curran about this, who's a supporter of the legislation. And there are a number of police chiefs and law enforcement officials that support the legislation, and including Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart, of course, as well as business leaders and faith leaders. So that's a fact. They are supportive of that. They think it's reasonable. They think it will actually enhance public safety by encouraging people who are here illegally, which is a federal problem, but the state has to deal with the implications, to report crimes and otherwise act as, good citizens, quote unquote. How do you respond to those arguments?
Yeah, I follow them. They haven't really had a meeting in a while. They parade out this, what's his name, Roe. He's not even a native Illinoisan. That organization was crafted in large part by, I forgot his name now. He used to be with ICIRR. That was deliberately set up to promote illegal immigration in the state for political reasons. It's no secret. I wouldn't. Have you ever heard Roe speak?
Yeah, I know.
I think you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going. Well, I mean, he's talking about Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights.
Yeah,
and
what's
that
the guy's
right.
name over there? Started all that.
Joshua Hoyt. Yeah, and Joshua Hoyt is a friend of mine. I know Josh, but I just disagree with him on this. Like Mark Kern is a friend, but just disagree with him on the sanctuary state. And it's rather jarring that Governor Rauner is poised to sign this. Here's the thing, too, Brian. The legislation, as it was originally conceived, has been significantly watered down in terms of the form that Senate Bill 31 has taken as it arrived on Governor Rauner's desk. But you still have this fundamental problem, and it goes to your story, which is why your brother's story, which is why it's so important. This refusal to honor a ICE detainer request. This is a huge thing, and this is in the legislation. And where they say, well, if they get a warrant, then of course we'll honor the warrant. But by not being cooperative at the local level with federal law enforcement, you're making them jump through an additional hoop, which is not, unconstitutional in any way. If they made a request and you honored it, there's no constitutional issue there. You're making them jump through an unnecessary hoop. You're adding a layer of bureaucracy. You're also adding a layer of uncertainty, because you could have a leftist judge on the bench say, well, no, I'm not issuing any warrants for this person or that person, because I don't want to be pulled into this whole political discussion, or because I'm on one side of it, or because I'm on a particular side of it, I guess I would say. So, there are real consequences to this idea. Hey, all ICE has to do is go get a warrant, and then we'll honor the warrant, as opposed to, while taking the posture of we're prohibited from honoring a detainer request. If law enforcement is working together, you think you'd give them ICE the benefit of the doubt when they make a detainer request on somebody like the guy who killed your brother, right?
Yeah, well, see, if you go back to our case, it was a Sunday morning when the brother produced the money. Well, how are you going to get a federal warrant?
Yeah, there's a time issue, too.
If the 48-hour rule was applicable or enforced, and it wasn't because of Tony and Jesus, we would have gotten the warrant. But how are you going to get a warrant on a Sunday morning?
And now he's gone, right? He's fled the country.
He's in Mexico.
He's in Mexico.
He's driving a truck down there, and he's having a good time.
And what stops you from not going down there and just punching his lights out? I mean, God bless you for your restraint.
He's got a golf game.
what I did to relieve stress, I wrote a novel, and we caught him. It's called Death in Chicago: A Sanctuary City. We got him as fiction.
Death in Chicago is the name of the book?
The name of the book, Death in Chicago: A Sanctuary City. But I wanted to ask you, I asked your, what's his name, Keith,
Yeah.
you guys saw page 8 on the trip. Rauner said yesterday, at the same time, Rauner also clouded his administration's response to a bill sought by immigration activists and many in the business community that would prohibit local law enforcement. So it's suggesting here that he still has not committed to this. And then it goes on to say that one of the people that he fired was the one that said that he's going to sign it. So,
Well,
Dan? Is there any hope?
What one has nothing to do with the other. But look, there's always hope. People can change their mind. I don't know. I don't know what the governor's thinking at any particular moment.
Well, one of our people is going to be on Fox and Friends in about 10 minutes, and he told me that he's going to appeal to Trump to call Rauner.
Well,
in about 10 minutes. So if he
well,
does it, it'll be amusing.
Yeah, or tweet at him or something. But one of the things is, and we've said that in the show, you call to the governor's office and weigh in on this because, they do track, just like legislators do, they do track calls, and that has impact. I
have. We want to get face to face. That's it. We want to. We were going to have people fly in. One guy was going to drive overnight from Virginia. He's an Illinois resident. He was going to come in. Another guy was going to come in from California.
Yeah.
And we got it downstaters. We were all going to come, but now it's too late.
Well,
but if he calls,
yeah,
I'll take my phone with me on the golf course.
Yeah, take it with you.
Yeah, just stop at the halfway house and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about this though too. Just back to the legislation, because we had, as I said, Mark Curran on yesterday, Lake County Sheriff, in support of this. And one of the things I found interesting about what Mark had to say, and other advocates said, this doesn't change anything that law enforcement does. It doesn't. So if it doesn't change anything, then why are we doing it? We're just accepting their premise for a second. If it doesn't change anything, why are we doing it? Because, of course, it does change things. And we know the actual architects of the bill, who are pandering hack Pauls like Chris Welch, they absolutely intend for there to be something behind this to, pander to the Si Se Puede chanters and those that whip the vote for them and for the party, for the Democrat Party, come election time. So I just wanted, that's my opinion, but I wanted you to address this kind of, it doesn't change anything law enforcement does, which is why they're supportive of it.
Well, it changes a lot. It's just going to make Illinois will be less safe. There's no question about it. It will be less safe. It will be a magnet for the criminal alien. If I'm a criminal alien, I'm coming here, and I'm going to go hide out in Pope County in southern Illinois, or I can go to Kerens County and Lake County, and plenty of hideouts up there. Will County, you notice all these sheriffs that signed off on it. I saw it in Capital Facts. They are all in counties with heavy Hispanic populations. Mm-hmm. That's why Kerens says what he says. It's real obvious. And my guy, Dart, he lives in my neighborhood. Ugh. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I agree with you on that sentiment. That sentiment says it all. Brian McCann, thanks so much for joining us. The book that you wrote, Death in Chicago, in tribute to your brother's memory as you're still pursuing justice with respect to his killer, and being a policy advocate with other families who have been victimized by persons in this country illegally.
It's called Advocates for Victims of Illegal Alien Crime. We got a website, aviac.us.
Aviac.us.
Yeah, we went public 7 weeks ago in D.C. at the Press Club, so
okay,
we're going to be active.
All right, Brian.
We're losing a lot of battles right now, but hopefully down the road we'll win a few.
Well, again, our condolences to what happened to your brother, and we really appreciate your time joining us this morning.
Dan and Amy, thanks a million.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.
I'm sure his brother is proud of what he's doing, and he joined us on our Turnkey.Pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-600-4133. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-4133. Again, that's 1-800-600-4133.
Back in 1993, Medishare was known as the best-kept secret in healthcare. But not anymore. Today, there are hundreds of thousands of Americans who've discovered what us long-timers have known since the beginning. Medishare is affordable healthcare that really works. The great thing is, we're not an insurance company. We're a nonprofit community. Hundreds of thousands of honest, hardworking people who agree to share each other's medical bills. Every share goes to help a fellow member. And when we say affordable, we mean it's common for our members to save upwards of $500 a month. Best of all, Medishare is always open. You can join anytime. So how about now? Isn't it time you joined Medishare?
Call 844-41-BIBLE to find out how much you can save on your health care. Medishare, now available in Montana. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE.
You love your trees. They're a primary source of beauty that greatly increases your property value. But damaged limbs and trunks due to weather, insects, and age can make trees a serious liability to your property and neighbors. Access Tree Service has the proven experience to evaluate your tree's health and decide if pruning or removal is the best option. They excel in all aspects of tree removal, tree trimming, stump removal, hedge care, plus stone and mulch to beautify your property. With over 40 years of combined experience and a staff of licensed, bonded, and insured arborists, they provide proof of insurance prior to starting your job and focus on the safety of your valuable property as priority number one. And thorough cleanup is guaranteed. Call Access Tree Service today for your free in-person on-site estimate, 708-279-7602, or visit accesstreeservice.com. Access Tree Service, Southern Chicagoland's trustworthy tree service, 708-279-7602, or accesstreeservice.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Message and data rates may apply.
What does home security look like in 2017? It's not strangers drilling holes in your walls. It's not big names making empty promises. In 2017, thanks to some out-of-the-box thinking, FrontPoint Home Security is 100% wireless with cellular monitoring and is ready to set up right out of the box. Plus, it's backed up by the best customer service in the industry. Experience the next generation of home security with FrontPoint. For a free quote, text the keyword FAMILY to 642-642. FrontPoint can be controlled right from your smartphone, so you can remotely control your lights, thermostat, and door locks. With text and email alerts, live video streaming, night vision, and professional monitoring 24/7, your home is protected with us. Ready, set, secure. It's that easy. Protect your family right out of the box with FrontPoint. We deliver it, you unbox it. For your free quote, text FAMILY to 642-642 on your smartphone. That's FAMILY to 642-642.
Life should be an adventure, and so should your health. It's another can't-miss Health Quest radio show this Saturday morning.
Dr. David Kolbaba. I'm the host of Chicagoland's longest-running health news and science show. As a primary natural healthcare practitioner, I've been helping people just like you reach a higher place of health and longevity, utilizing more natural strategies as I believe our Creator meant it to be.
Create your adventure in health. Tune into Health Quest Radio every Saturday morning at 11 on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, giving out the governor's office number again. I tweeted it at Dan Prof, but 217-782-0244 in Springfield. 312-814-2121 in Chicago if you want to call in and weigh in on Sanctuary State or weigh in support of him for inking a deal that includes those tax credit scholarships, which was a big win yesterday in the school funding deal that was cut.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of which, we'll talk to Kristen McQuarrie from the Chicago Tribune about said school funding deal at 7:37.
And later, a former Chicagoan caught on tape in a cheerleading video. But first, we'll go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Chilly start. I guess we could call it 54 degrees, clouds and sunshine. The National Hurricane Center telling Texas residents along the Gulf Coast to rush storm preparations this morning as Harvey rapidly intensifies. Our reporter Taylor Millard is on the scene talking about how Texans are prepping for Hurricane Harvey.
A lot of people are going out and getting extra food, water, batteries, generators, propane for grilling. One person I talked to said she did see a little bit of panic and people rushing to get a bunch of food. The bread aisle was empty at her grocery store.
Harvey right now churning about 145 miles southeast of Corpus Christi. Again, landfall around 1 a.m. Saturday morning. Lyft is warning its drivers this morning to remain safe during planned white supremacist and other rallies across the U.S. In an email, the ride-sharing app provides drivers with information on how to report incidents of harassment, intimidation, and how to monitor for violence in their local area. Condemned killer in Florida is dead after an execution using a new lethal drug cocktail. Mark Assay was put to death last night after the Supreme Court denied a stay of execution. The 53-year-old was convicted of killing two black men in Jacksonville, Florida in 1987. The judge ruling the killing was racially motivated. One of the nation's largest healthcare companies is accused of revealing the private information of its customers with HIV. Lawyers for 12,000 customers say the information was clearly visible through windows on envelopes. Fire crews continuing to battle a blaze. Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood. Fire began early this morning, and mop-up continues at that three-story building near 18th and Avers. Chicago police believe a Southwest Side shooting may be linked to a rash of robberies in the city and in Hammond, Indiana. A 73-year-old man was shot yesterday morning near 61st and Kenneth by two who tried to rob him. A dozen similar robberies have taken place recently in several nearby Chicago neighborhoods and in Hammond. Mayor Emanuel applauding state lawmakers for coming to an agreement on school funding. Speaking to reporters last night, the mayor says the deal includes some funding increases for the Chicago public schools. Reds over the Cubs 4-2. Sox beat the Twins 5-1. And the news is a service of Napa Auto Parts with quality parts and more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help you keep your car on the road all summer long. Stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Dennis Prager Show.
The Dennis Prager Show. I wish it were different. It is a civil war in this country. YouTube and Google and the universities and the media are all on the left and wish to squash us. Do you understand that? If you don't, you're a fool.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
7:35. Let's get an update on your ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Tri-State Tollway southbound traffic is heavy from 176 to the Lake Forest Oasis. Northbound delays from Harlem to 87th. There's a southbound stall in the left lane. Then it's slow LaGrange Road to the Mylon Bridge. The Stevenson to 31st, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, and from the O'Hare Oasis to Balmoral. The Adams and Reagan Tollways are fine. Veterans Memorial heavy, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway, after the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 30. Kennedy, 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 33. The Eisenhower's 50 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 39. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, traffic service at Lowe's. Shop Lowe's and save big with up to 40% off appliance special values. That's up to 40% off some of the best brands in the business. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid 8/24 through 9/13. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and nice today. High 73. Partly cloudy and 58 overnight. Cool start to back to school in this half hour. 54 at O'Hare. 63 along the lakefront. 45 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy comes your way now. And make sure to join me, Larry Elder, tonight at 7, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so, of course, the clip of the week is Tom Skilling's meltdown over the sun.
Aww. We've been told people start sobbing. If for some, it's just a life-changing event. And we may start doing that, too. But I'll get my act together, guys.
No,
and I'll
won't.
be back to you, I promise you. Guys, back to Chicago. Sorry about this.
He sounds a little bit like Harry Carey, doesn't he?
I just wanted to make Kristen McQuarrie feel comfortable because I think we're going to have that moment with her.
Oh, she's going to break down and cry?
Right now, she's a strong proponent of school choice and of this tax credit scholarship proposal that was included in the school funding deal reached yesterday by the governor and legislative leaders. And she, of course, the Chicago Tribune editorial board member, and the perhaps weeping Kristen McQuarrie joins us now. Kristen, are you okay?
I'm doing all right this morning. Thank you for asking. But yes, this is a really big deal. It's very exciting. Having watched the school choice movement for about 10 years move backwards, the idea that we might actually introduce some competition and give low and middle income families the same opportunity that the legislators in Springfield have, that the politicians have, that the wealthy have, to me is it's a really big step forward.
So what are the parameters? How much money do you need to make or not make in order to apply for this program?
A lot of the details we will find out later, but I think they settled on about $80,000 for a family of 4 to qualify for some sort of scholarship tuition at a participating school. It can also be a public school. So there's all this outrage that this is public money going, or private, this is private money that can go to private schools or public schools. If you're a family and you live in Rogers Park, and Evanston Township High School decides to participate in this program, that's another aspect of it that the schools get to choose. You might be able to get your student out of a Chicago public school and into one of the highest performing suburban schools in the north suburbs. So a family of 4 making about $80,000. And the program will be capped at $100 million annually. It will take a few years to even reach that amount because these programs tend to take a few years to get their sea legs. And you will not see a mass exodus from public schools. That is a false claim. In states that have implemented these programs, there are 17 of them. It is like less than 1% of the public school population that ends up accessing this program. But for that 1%, it is life-changing.
Yeah, and the 1%. So 1% of 2 million kids in K through 12 in Illinois is 21,000 kids and families. That they matter. And you've got waiting lists for charter schools in Chicago. You have a lack of school choice options in other parts of the state. That may change now that you've got a new supply, if you will, that will create additional demand. And maybe it'll be more than that because a few school systems around the country are as bad as Chicago's is generally. So just to add to the details there, 80,000, that's 300% of poverty level. After you qualify, it can later go up to 400% of poverty level. So it really hits even starting to get to upper middle income families. So this is pretty broad. Up to 100% of private school tuition, which is roughly $12,300. That doubles if you have a child who's an English language learner, gifted, or with special needs. And then you've got the 5-year sunset. As you were mentioning, it takes a couple years to get going. But once it gets going and builds a constituency and you build out that infrastructure, even if you don't have the political power structure change in Illinois during that time, it's unlikely this program will get tubed.
Right. I mean, in other states where they have started it, they actually, we have 75 cents on the dollar is the incentive now to donate to this program. We could see that get back up to 95% or even 100%, which was the original proposal, because in other states there's such high demand that they want to raise more money, so they try to improve those incentives. And I mean, we're talking about this. I'm crossing my fingers that we're not too soon in talking about it, but this still has to go to a legislature that is Democrat controlled, where the teachers unions have a lot of sway. They are on top of this. They are firing off emails. They're calling this a voucher program. You already have the Hispanic caucus and probably the Black caucus going to put out statements against it, which to me is just so wrong-headed, because the kids that would benefit from this are Chicago public school kids. And you have a lot of those legislators who send their own kids to private schools. And I pointed out Senator Kwame Raoul in a tweet. He sends his kids to the lab school at the University of Chicago, paying $33,000 tuition to send your kid there. Well, how nice. Are there other kids in Hyde Park or just a little south of there in Woodlawn who would like a shot at the lab school? And so to have lawmakers like that coming out against this program is just the height of hypocrisy, in my opinion. And those are the legislators that need to be pressed upon to reverse their opposition.
Well, and Chicago City Wire, I'll retweet it, but we did a story a couple weeks ago with a laundry list of all of the Pauls who are beneficiaries of private education, beneficiaries of school choice, really, private or public. They had a choice because they went to private schools, as well as whose kids are going to private schools, as you were mentioning, Kwame Raoul being one example, Tiny Dancer another, many, many others. The legislation, though, so here's the thing. The Senate comes back Sunday to vote it, and the House on Monday, ostensibly. And are you worried at all that if the two prongs of this, the public school funding piece of it and the tax credit piece of this, are separate pieces of legislation, that the rug could get pulled out from underneath on the tax credit while everybody votes for the public school funding piece of this that Chicago Democrats advanced?
I'm very worried about that because initially, I mean, I think a bill like the tax credit scholarship program should be able to stand on its own, but with this legislature, it can't. This is the moment. It has to be tied to school funding. It has to be tied to the overhaul in order to get some of these lawmakers to reluctantly get on board. And so if they try to do it as some sort of a trailer bill by itself, to me, that's tubing the proposal. And I've been told they're not going to do that. They're going to actually just have a new bill that they will have to pass, the Senate will have to pass and get it back to Ron Arcest. And then he will have to play a little gymnastics because the bill is going to look very much like the original school funding bill with money for Chicago and money for Chicago teachers' pensions, and he was very loudly, as you know, opposed to what he considered to be a bailout. Now he would have to put a signature on that as well.
Yeah, but that should happen, and you're right. I mean, the only way to ensure, trust that this gets done that way is to have the two connected. If they did it separately, you could easily get baited and switched by Chicago Democrats.
Right, and I mean, I wouldn't put it past them because, like I said, the ramp up and the loudness of the teacher unions already is increasing. And I've just seen proposals, if you wait too long, if the momentum dissipates, that's why I'm glad they're coming back Sunday and Monday instead of maybe mid-next week, because each day that the union groups and the opponents have to try to work lawmakers, the more tricky this becomes.
And just one more on the teachers union, since you brought it up. How shameless is the IEA and CTU when they're talking about this proposal while they're bailing out Chicago? And I think that's a proper description. But here, wait. When they say this is taking money from brown and black children, how shameless are they?
They have no shame. I mean, to me, these are groups that I've watched for 20 years. They really don't care about school funding. They care about teacher pensions. They endorse based on protecting lawmakers who are going to protect their pensions. They fund candidates who say that they're going to protect pensions. They don't fund candidates who support school choice or for all of these years have supported overhauling the school funding formula. So they're completely hypocritical when they try to weigh in on opportunity scholarships for low-income kids, because the fact is they're on record over and over and over just supporting anyone who will protect their pensions.
I mean, they said yesterday that this is a reverse Robin Hood scheme that siphons money from poor school districts and lets the wealthy avoid paying their fair share in taxes. Now, why would they even say that? What would give them that impression?
Well, I mean, because they're going to because calling it a reverse Robin Hood is what gets people like Kwame Raoul and other lawmakers to oppose it. It's the opposite. It is a generous tax credit for people and corporations who decide to donate, but it's for scholarships. I mean, it's for a very laudable cause, and you have to have a generous tax credit in order to make this sort of program work and to avoid all of the constitutional arguments that the other side makes about public money. This is private money. The courts have upheld programs like this in every state. I don't think there's a single court case where these have not been upheld. So this is kind of the only way to make this work, and this is the moment for Illinois.
And oh, by the way, by some estimates, upwards of half of CPS teachers send their kids to private school.
Well, exactly.
What do they know?
And some of the leadership, I mean, like Jesse Sharkey, for example, the vice president of CTU, his son goes to one of the selective enrollment schools at CPS. He doesn't go to his neighborhood school. He goes to one of the elite North Side selective enrollment schools. Well, how lucky for him that he had school choice and that his child qualified to go to one of the premier schools. This is about getting kids out of chronically failing public schools, increasing competition. Those schools will have to step up their game. And, I mean, you look at even Catholic schools. There have been dozens of Catholic schools that have closed across the city over the past 5 or 6 years. Also in places like Homewood and Oak Lawn, which are middle-income communities, places like Woodlawn and Englewood, where the outcomes were better, but families could not keep up with the tuition. Leo High School on the south side. This will help give families more choice to get out of their neighborhood schools and be able to attend a school that has a track record of graduating more kids.
And that's why Cardinal Cupich's leadership was so important, and he deserves a lot of credit for this as well. She is Kristen McQuarrie, Chicago Tribune editorial board member. Kristen, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, size shaming, a principal, wait, this just in. We're doing something that has to do with the Incredible Hulk, I've been told.
But first, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine. Nice for the Salem Company picnic and bad Hawaiian shirt contest that'll be taking place around noon. Go, Amy, go. A high of 73 degrees.
If I just give you a $50 gift card, will you stop talking about it?
At least I took off the shirt, but I will put it back on. Don't you test me. Your weekend looks spectacular. Saturday, sunshine, a high near 80. And on Sunday for the Chicago Triathlon, it's going to be nice, a high of 78 degrees. We do have a chance of a thunderstorm that's late in the afternoon, so no concerns there. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Jim Telemonte, mahalo. Are you wearing your Hawaiian shirt?
Aloha, no, just the usual attire, Amy. But good morning. Hope you're enjoying the festivities and hope you enjoy it this afternoon. Right now, if you're in that area, the Adams Tollway is looking great in both directions. The Tri-State has delays this morning. It's one of the tollways that's actually fairly heavy. Southbound, it's stop and go to the north of us from Eau Plaine to before 176. That's due to a crash in the left lane. Northbound, it's heavy. Southwest Highway to the 83rd Street toll, and from Archer to the Mile Long Bridge. You see delays as well from the Stevenson to Ogden, and in pockets from the Reagan Tollway to near 190. Veterans Memorial slow northbound from Boughton Toll to the Reagan Tollway, and the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose outbound 30. The Kennedy, 33 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Eisenhower's 50 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 39. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38. The Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
You've heard about our friends at Roland Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. They're well known for excellent customer service, including custom designs and jewelry repairs by their on-site expert craftsmen. Their knowledgeable and friendly staff always ensures that you feel like family when you're at Roland's. And now they're offering a special family incentive for AM 560 listeners, 25% off jewelry repairs and custom designs. Just mention Dan and Amy and receive this exclusive offer. Roland's Jewelers has a large selection of beautiful engagement rings and is a direct diamond importer. Take advantage of wholesale prices on quality loose diamonds as well as fine jewelry from designers like Hearts on Fire, Simon G., John Hardy, and Roberto Coin. Don't forget to mention us, Dan and Amy, for a special 20% off jewelry, repairs, and custom designs. Visit RolandsJewelers.com or call 847-918-7300. Roland's, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Where did I put that wrench? I know I have the right size screwdriver in here somewhere. This garage is a mess. Trouble finding your tools? Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA, close by in Kankakee, with a 55-year unconditional guarantee. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call Mike the owner personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STORLOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. That's StoreLock.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had some ulcer issues on my leg that I had from Vietnam. It would erupt on occasion of periods of stress. When I was taking juices, these ulcers had disappeared, but I was not able to get good quality fruits and vegetables to make good juices. And, these ulcers came back. But since I've been taking the fruit and the veggie capsules, these ulcers again have subsided.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code
Chicago.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Should a free society be governed by those with the humility attendant to faith, or those who feature unrestrained emotion? Someone who governs by emotion might not believe he's an angel. He might believe he's done some bad things, but he also believes he can set all that aside. Once a political leader believes that he can think and feel in a sin-free way, there's nothing to constrain the newfound purity of his actions, regardless of their consequences. This is what Flannery O'Connor meant when she wrote, "In the absence of faith, we govern by tenderness, and tenderness leads to the gas chamber." Tenderness is the foundation of totalitarianism. It's how otherwise sophisticated people indulge barbarism. It's how heterodox thoughts are repressed under the guise of tolerance. It's how religious freedom is marginalized and private property seized. It's how science is subordinated to ideology. It's how a free society gives away its freedom. The faithful pluralist, by contrast, is skeptical about his emotional read on things because he understands he's influenced by sin in ways that are not always evident. In politics, such a leader is hesitant to extend his power as a result. So which are you, the faithful pluralist or the sophisticated barbarian? Your freedom depends on your answer.
How can you get a better grasp on what your portfolio looks like for retirement? Tabota & Associates just might have the technology to help you answer that question. Jack Tabota and the team at Tabota & Associates builds retirement plans custom fit for you using a variety of insurance and investment products. At Tabota & Associates, no two retirement plans are the same, and they can use a tool called Riskalyze to show what your risk tolerance number is. Once you have it, you'll have a better understanding of how much risk you can take on and if your current portfolio is exposing you to potential losses that you cannot afford. Why not let the team at Tabota & Associates do the heavy lifting for you? 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Take some of the guesswork out of planning and Riskalyze your retirement portfolio today. Tabota & Associates, 630-777-7955. Investments involve risk, including the potential loss of principal invested. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
If you think all banks are the same, it's time to think about Signature Bank Chicago. I'm Pete Olson, head of commercial banking at Signature Bank, where the people who own the bank operate the bank. Not in an abstract way, but in the same hands-on, personalized way that you run your business. We don't rely on a legion of business developers to find new relationships. We don't trust an outsourced phone bank to address your customer service needs, and we don't delegate decision-making to some anonymous credit committee that you'll never meet. We do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Call us today to see the Signature Bank difference.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Note on that school funding legislation that's pending.
Yes,
per
the
the deal
tax
yesterday.
credit scholarship program.
Yeah, so looks like the Senate may not take up the vote until Tuesday. House Monday, Senate Tuesday, ideally. Hurry up! Let's go. All right.
I want him to hurry up before more fake news is spread about the issue.
President Trump has made another appointment, Amy. You're going to want to take judicial notice of this. He has made an appointment to the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition.
Michelle Obama's back?
Help get the U.S. fit and healthy. No, Chris Christie.
Oh, that's so...
No.
Chris Christie, the example of what happens when you eat off your band.
Right. He's
surgery.
the before picture. And Lou Ferrigno is the after picture. You know Lou Ferrigno.
Lou.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Well, that's Bill Bixby before he morphs into Lou Ferrigno. You know Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk. You also know him.
There it is.
There it is. I love that theme music. Isn't it great?
Dr. David Banner. Listen.
Searching for a way to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. Then an accidental overdose of gamma radiation alters his body chemistry. And now when David Banner grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs.
It takes me back. I had an Incredible Hulk doll.
So when he tells President Trump to put that donut down, he means it.
Donut down.
By the way, Ed Norton ruined the Incredible Hulk with a terrible movie. But also Lou Ferrigno, recurring character on King of Queens.
Oh, yeah, that's
Plays
right.
the next door neighbor, moves into
So
the
Lou
neighborhood.
Ferrigno's got a new job, huh?
Yeah.
Is his first client going to be President Trump?
It should be.
Doesn't understand why his friends keep going back to the gym and spend hours there. They all look the same.
I want to see President Trump do a Lou Ferrigno, Hulk Hogan, and bust out of his shirt during a press conference. Wouldn't you like to see him and Melania running on the beach? President Trump shirtless?
Coming up next, Alan Dershowitz will be here. But now, here is Mike Scott.
Here comes Harvey. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. They're almost out of time to evacuate along the Texas coast after a mad dash for supplies.
I have been to 4 different stores. No water on the shelf.
Harvey's now a powerful hurricane that could bring a life-threatening wall of water. Fox's Evan Brown live at the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
Yeah, Lisa, Harvey's winds are now up to 110 miles an hour, but it's the storm surge that is going to be the worst and most destructive thing in some places.
We're expecting 6 to 12 feet of flooding from storm surge. That's going to mean flooding in roads and houses right along the coast in this particular area, near and to the right of where the center of Harvey crosses the coast.
That's Chief Hurricane Specialist Michael Brennan. Harvey is also going to dump as much as 25 inches of rain more in some isolated spots, Lisa.
And Evan, possible ripple effects nationwide on air travel and gas prices. A lot of refineries in that region. The White House emphasizing shared goals with Republicans in Congress while keeping up the pressure.
These are big things that this president is focused on. He's going to need Congress to get it together so that we can get some stuff accomplished.
Spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Fox's John Decker is live at the White House.
The president returning to a familiar theme on Twitter, writing, if Senate Republicans don't get rid of the filibuster rule and go to a 51% majority, few bills will be passed. 8 Democrats control the Senate. The president also giving a shout out to the man who runs the West Wing, tweeting, General John Kelly is doing a fantastic job as chief of staff. There is tremendous spirit and talent in the White House. Don't believe the fake news. Meanwhile, President Trump phoned the governors of Louisiana and Texas Thursday as those states prepare for Hurricane Harvey. Lisa?
John, a deadly attack today during Friday prayers at a mosque in Afghanistan. Militants storming it. No confirmation of casualties. Fair and balanced.
Here in Chicago this morning, we have mostly sunny skies. 54 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Fire crews are mopping up after a blaze in Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood. Fire began early this morning inside a 3-story apartment building near 18th and Avers. Disgraced former CPS CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett will report to prison on Monday. Sun-Times says she will begin serving a 4.5-year sentence at a federal prison camp in southeastern Virginia, the same prison camp where Chicago Alderman Sandy Jackson served time. Legislative leaders in Springfield say they've reached a tentative agreement in the state school funding fight, but details are still being worked out. Republican leader Bill Brady and House Republican leader Jim Durkin issuing a statement late Thursday saying there's an agreement in principle. A Chicago man serving a life sentence for a 1994 rape and murder will remain behind bars. Authorities continue investigating new DNA testing that his attorneys say prove he's innocent. However, a Cook County judge denied a motion by attorneys for 48-year-old Nevis Coleman, saying releasing Coleman now would be premature. A Northwest Indiana sheriff has been found guilty in a fraud and bribery trial involving an illegal towing scheme. Federal jurors in Hammond convicted Lake County Sheriff John Bunchich on Thursday after about 5 hours of deliberations on Wednesday and Thursday. Reds score 3 in the 8th, rally for a win over the Cubs in Cincinnati 4-2. Derek Holland was solid in the White Sox win over the Twins 5-1. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen delivers an address on the economy at the Fed's annual symposium today. It's still unclear whether she'll be asked to stay on. Yellen hasn't said whether she would want another term if it was offered. Adamas Pharmaceuticals is a stock to follow today. The FDA has approved a new treatment for people with Parkinson's. It's made by Adamas. The medication appears to control involuntary movements. You'll find some lower prices at Whole Foods Market starting Monday. Amazon.com says it plans to close its Whole Foods merger on Monday and will immediately make changes. It will also start a Whole Foods customer rewards program through Amazon Prime, and it will also start delivering Whole Foods products to you. The Dow was down 28 on Thursday. The Nasdaq dropped 7. The S&P was down 5. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. The sort of shave that cuts clean without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And because Harry's is so confident in the quality of their blades, they'll send you their most popular set, complete with a razor, one of their world-famous blades, shaving cream, and post-shave balm for free if you cover shipping. A total value of $20 at no cost to you, with code 0505 at checkout. Their way of saying thank you for trying them. How is Harry's able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures the blades. That's how. Go to harrys.com now and enter code 0505 at checkout to claim your free trial set and post-shave balm. That's harrys.com, code 0505.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone wants the original, the authentic. And with a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the iconic luxury, unparalleled safety, and performance of Mercedes-Benz at a price you can afford. But just remember, only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer has the skilled technicians to certify that your pre-owned vehicle is up to Mercedes-Benz standards. And only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer offers an unlimited mileage warranty, so you can drive with confidence as far as you'd like for up to 5 years. There are pre-owned vehicles, and then there are Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned vehicles. Visit the Certified Pre-Owned Sales event going on now through August 31st and receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
8:07 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the Kennedy Expressway, inbound delays are from Montrose to Jackson. It's 39 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 29 from Montrose, 24 the Express. Outbound 17 minutes to Montrose, 33 to O'Hare. Enans is fine inbound at 19 minutes from Lake Cook Junction. Outbound, it's 30 minutes. The Eisenhower has inbound delays from 17th to Sacramento. 50 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 39. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 15. I-57, just a 5-minute delay approaching the merge. Bishop Ford fine. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, a bit tight, Fullerton to North Avenue. Tri-State southbound, stop and go 21 to before 176 after a crash. Northbound from Harlem to LaGrange Road, the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and the pockets from the Reagan Tollway to Balmoral. The Adams Tollway is fine. Reagan Tollway slow 59 to Winfield. Veterans Memorial delays are northbound from the Boughton Toll to Reagan Tollway, and Army Trail to 290. I-80 is heavy westbound from 30 to Gauger, and around the Des Plaines River Bridge. 80-94 heavy westbound for a decline. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly sunny, high 73. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 58. Sun and clouds tomorrow, high 78, and a partly cloudy night with a low tomorrow night 62. Thunderstorms around Sunday, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
60 at O'Hare and sunshine, 62 along the lakefront. Next news coming up at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We are about to present famed Harvard law professor, constitutional scholar Alan Dershowitz with his greatest intellectual challenge. Greatest intellectual challenge he's ever faced.
What's that?
Matching constitutional wits with Nancy Pelosi. Who yesterday...
Who will prevail?
Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi, in an interview with a television station in San Francisco, Pelosiville, had this to say about her advocacy that the National Park Service deny permits for gatherings of alt-right persons.
How could the Park Service justify denying that organization their free speech rights?
Because the Constitution does not say that a person can yell wolf in a crowded theater. If you are endangering people, then you don't have a constitutional right to do that.
Was she thinking like crying wolf?
Well, I don't know. Is she that? Yes, the former speaker who cried wolf. She is technically correct. The Constitution does not say you can cry wolf in a crowded theater. So technically that is true. It does not say that anywhere.
It doesn't. You're
No.
right.
I don't think that's exactly what Oliver Wendell Holmes had intended, but okay. Now, on the flip side, these are different venues, if you will, because the Cloudflare CEO, who wrote a piece earlier this week in the Wall Street Journal about taking down this neo-Nazi website. Cloudflare is a big internet networking company, not a household name, but they got a lot of power. And after they took down this neo-Nazi website, effectively, the Cloudflare CEO had some pangs of reflection about it and about where the lines are. And he offered this in an interview, even though, again, this is a private marketplace versus the National Park Service, public space, different standards, but it's part of the discussion regardless. Listen to Cloudflare CEO.
Do you have too much power? What we need to have is a conversation about where is it the right place for tech companies to be regulating the internet. And what I know is not the right answer is that a cabal of 10 tech executives are the ones choosing what content goes online and what content doesn't go online.
All right. Well, that should have given Professor Dershowitz enough time to shepherdize the Schenck case. We're pleased to be joined again by Alan Dershowitz, former Harvard Law School professor, constitutional law expert. Professor Dershowitz, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I didn't have to shepherd Schenck because I actually wrote a book about it called Shouting Fire, which is, of course, the phrase that Justice Holmes used, and he talked about it doing it in a crowded theater, not an open national park. Nancy Pelosi is just dead wrong as a matter of constitutional law. Once you start limiting speech because it might endanger somebody, then we have to stop selling Karl Marx's books, stop selling the Bible. Probably more people were killed in the name of the Bible and the Quran than any other books together. You would have to have prevented Martin Luther King from walking through the streets of Birmingham, Alabama. It's just impossible to draw the kind of line that she wants to draw politically. She doesn't like the alt-right. I don't like the alt-right either. I don't like the alt-left either. I don't like organizations like Antifa, which use violence to try to stop violence. But once you start censoring one side, we have what we call the circle of civility. You have to have equal application. You can't, on public universities or in public parks, say we don't like the right, but we like the left. I remember Woody Allen and Annie Hall saying, I'm a bigot, but I'm a bigot for the left. And that's not the way the Constitution works. You have to allow bigotry left and right under the First Amendment. I've just written a book which deals with a lot of these issues. It's called Trumped Up.
Oh.
Appropriate title, Trumped Up, how the criminalization of political differences endangers democracy. And it's all about Nancy Pelosi crying wolf, because she shouts wolf every time that President Trump does something she disagrees with, and that's very often. He does things that I disagree with very often. But she yells crime, crime, impeach every time he does something wrong.
Well, please send her the audio version of that, because she's not much of a reader. But here,
well, I like her as a person, but I think that she's such a partisan zealot that she puts partisan zealotry before constitutional interpretation, and often before common sense.
Well, here's the follow-up question then, particularly per the nature of your forthcoming book, and that is, just setting aside the constitutional protections for a second, how concerned are you culturally about this idea that if I disagree with someone or if I find something objectionable, they should be silenced, that content should be banned?
Well, that's what they're teaching students at universities today all over the country. At Berkeley, if you don't like a speaker, you engage in violence, shut them down. I have been shut down on 3 occasions. They tried. I come from Brooklyn, so I just shattered open. But at the University of California in Irvine, anti-Israel students tried to stop me from advocating a two-state solution. At the University of Massachusetts, the same thing happened, and they succeeded. They actually cut my speech short. And at, of all places, Johns Hopkins, there was an attempt to prevent me from speaking. They said I was harassing the students before I ever spoke by not admitting that Israel commits war crimes. So they were going to tell me what to say, and they didn't want to listen to my point of view. And by the way, this is not only getting the support of radical student groups, it's getting the support of radical faculty. And there are enough of them, and they speak loudly enough, that they coerce the universities into going along with their censorial attitudes. And what we're getting are attitudes on campuses today that are so antagonistic to diversity. This is done in the name of diversity, the phoniest word ever used on university campuses. University campuses do not want diversity of points of view. They want diversity of skin color. They want diversity of ethnicity, sure, of gender. But the last thing they want is diversity of points of view. When's the last time you saw universities trying to get more fundamentalist Christian students, more students who belong to the National Rifle Association, more students who advocate very conservative views on campus? They don't want intellectual diversity. They just want diversity of person, not of ideas.
And the problem is, where does this censorship end? I mean, if every time we disagree with a group, we shut off their voices, that's really no way to live.
Well, it's no way to live. And, of course, everybody loves freedom of speech except for one thing. When you ask many, many Jews, they say, oh, we love freedom of speech, but Holocaust denial? No, that's not freedom of speech. When you ask some African-American students, they say, oh, we love freedom of speech, but not for racism. When you ask some feminists, oh, we love freedom of speech, but pornography? Oh, my God. No, some Muslim students, oh, we love freedom of speech, but if you put down Islam or Muhammad, forget about it. So everybody wants one exception. And if you start adding up all the exceptions, you eliminated the First Amendment for any kind of controversial speech.
I've tried to, we try to highlight on this show some on the left. I mean, I'm conservative, but highlight some on the left, including academics that are standing up to call out this totalitarianism on campus when it manifests itself. Frank Rich did after the Middlebury incident where that professor was assaulted. We spoke earlier this week with Mark Lilla, who's got a new book out about small L liberalism as well as capital L liberalism. And the path there, and he's critical of the same kind of things that you're critical of. But do you see on the left, at least, any movement away from these examples that you've experienced on college campuses at Evergreen State, at Berkeley, at Middlebury, and on and on and on? Yeah. Is there a recognition of the danger that is not too far down the road and a change in behavior or attitude as a result?
There is a silent recognition, but if people speak out, they immediately are branded as racist. And that's what happened at Evergreen University. They were immediately branded as racist. And the one thing faculty members don't want is to be branded as racist. After 50 years of teaching at Harvard and a number of other places, I've never seen a less courageous group of people in general than tenured university professors. The last thing they want to do is alienate the most radical elements of their student body, because they would be then boycotted, picketed, regarded as pariahs, called racist. And they don't want to do that, and they don't want to incur that kind of wrath. So you get a lot of silent discussion of it at faculty lunches, but you don't get public disclaimers.
And it's interesting, particularly in the light of this piece in the New York Times yesterday. Even with affirmative action, Black and Hispanics are more underrepresented at top colleges than 35 years ago, starting with the Ivy League colleges.
Well, I don't like the term underrepresented.
Well, okay, but I'm just the New York Times.
Represented in proportion to its numbers. That's what they used to have in Russia. It was called the numerus clausus, the quota system. And there are some people who are pushing for that.
But this is the
21% representation of
no,
this and that. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, Professor, but I'm saying this is the standard by which they measure themselves.
Yeah. No, I agree. And look, Harvard, for the first time in its history, this entering class in 2017 will have a minority of white students. It will have a majority of people of color. That, of course, includes Asian Americans, who are the most discriminated against group in all of academia today. Today, the only group of students who systematically get turned down from major universities with perfect SAT scores and perfect academic records in high school, the only ones who get turned down now are Asian Americans, because people are afraid that a tipping point will be reached, that if you took at MIT, for example, only students based on grades and records, you'd have perhaps even a majority of Asian American students, because today they are the students who work so hard, who have many of them, I'm stereotyping, and there are differences, of course, but the work ethic is so incredibly great among Asian American students that they do extraordinarily well on standard tests. And so schools have to impose, in effect, quotas. Now, there's a big difference between ceiling quotas and floor quotas. Many schools have floor quotas. We want at least 13% African Americans. That's very different from we don't want more than 20% Asian Americans. Ceilings and floors are quite different.
I wanted to get your take on something else that CNN did this week. What they've essentially done is, in my opinion, is resuscitate Hannah Arendt's banality of evil argument in her Eichmann in Jerusalem work.
One of the dumbest phrases ever used in all of literature. Hannah Arendt was a horrible, horrible woman. As you know, she had an affair with Martin Heidegger, who was a complete fervent Nazi and the least banal of men. So for her to construct this phrase, the banality of evil, she hardly even went to the trial at all about that. I know that because my friend Telford Taylor, who was the chief prosecutor at Nuremberg and who covered the trial for American media, said he never saw her there. She was never there. She came to Jerusalem in order to write a book about the banality of evil before she ever met Eichmann. Eichmann was not a banal man. He was a very, very brilliant man. The success of Nazism was not banality. It's that they got university students to support them. They got
exactly.
Von they got Furtwängler. They got the leading intellectuals of the day to support them. And she invented this phrase, the banality of evil, which is the most misleading and horrible term that totally mischaracterizes how Nazism came to be and how the Holocaust came to be.
Well, I appreciate that context because now it's being updated. It's not, the phrase wasn't used, but the argument is being used. CNN featuring a Fordham law professor saying we're a country with a few million passionate white supremacists and tens of millions of white supremacists by default. That was the twisted formula that made the Holocaust and Rwanda possible and allowed Jim Crow segregation to survive. Nice people look the other way while those with an appetite for violence did the dirty work. You have to have millions of people who are willing to be bystanders who push aside evidence of racism, Islamophobia, or sexism. You can't have one without the other, and this professor is talking about Trump voters.
Yeah, and of course he never mentions anti-Semitism or anti-Zionism or a double standard toward Israel or a double standard toward Jews on university campuses. There are certain selected groups today under intersectionality which get all the attention, and these are generalizations that themselves have implicit racism within them, generalizing about white privilege, generalizing about the white community, generalizing about Jews, generalizing about Catholics, generalizing about Christians in general, is another form of bigotry, and it has to be fought. I don't think today in America we have a real, clear and present danger from the alt-right because they're rejected university. They lost in Charlottesville. Everybody hates them. Everybody condemns them. But not too many people are condemning the hard left, Antifa, and some other organizations like that. And I wrote a piece that appeared this week saying, yes, President Trump had a special obligation to condemn the hard right because they speak in his name falsely. but they claim they're doing it in his name. I quote David Duke, I quote Spencer, all those people. And liberals like me, we have an obligation to speak out about the hard left because they speak in the name of liberalism, and they're not liberals. They're anti-liberals. So I think both sides, centrist liberals have an obligation to speak out against the hard left, and centrist conservatives against the hard right. The way was led by William F. Buckley,
Yes.
who condemned Pat Buchanan for his anti-Semitism back in the 1990s. And because he was a centrist conservative, his condemnation carried great weight, and it helped the conservative movement rid itself and marginalize that wing, which included bigots, anti-Semites, racists, and others. And the conservative movement thrived as the result of that. We have to do the same thing with liberalism today.
He is Professor Alan Dershowitz, famed Harvard law professor, constitutional scholar. The forthcoming book, Trumped Up, Professor?
Yes, Trumped Up, How the Criminalization of Political Differences Endangers Democracy. It's a quick ebook and soft cover, so you can only get it on Amazon. It's not in stores, but just press one button on Amazon. They'll either ship it to you, or you can read it on Kindle. It's a quick read. It's 200 pages. It's very current. It's all about the attempts to turn political differences between Democrats and Trump into alleged crimes and impeachable conduct, which I'm against. Even though I voted strongly for Hillary Clinton and I'm a liberal Democrat, I don't like the idea of turning everything into crimes.
All right, we're still working on you. Professor Dershowitz, thanks so much for joining us as always. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Dan Proft here with an important message for Chicagoland business owners. If you own or rent your building, chances are that you're paying more than your fair share of property taxes. Ask yourself this question. If you could lower your property taxes with the help of licensed professionals who have an 80% average success rate, yes, you heard that right, an 80% success rate, lowering business owners' property taxes, would you do that? Corporate Valuation Advisors has reduced their clients' property taxes on average by 20% over their 25-year service history throughout the greater Chicagoland area. Here's a Corporate Valuation Advisor's recent property tax savings success story from a local Chicago business owner. Their first year of property tax savings equaled $26,265. The total four-year property tax savings equaled $104,679. Call Corporate Valuation Advisors. They can help. 630-923-5371. That's 630-923-5371. You can also find them at yourfairtax.com or visit 560theanswer.com and look for the Corporate Valuation Advisors banner.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts GROW to 543-543, an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift card for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift card. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
There's a place where you can get custom metal products. If you manage a commercial kitchen, hotel, condo building, or food-grade manufacturing plant, then no matter the type of metal or size of the project, the skillfully trained fabrication team at Vans Industrial has you covered.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Custom metal fabrication is the backbone of my company. We fabricate stainless steel countertops, wall coverings, hoods, landscape planter boxes, industrial fan housings, and more. Vans Industrial uses all types of alloys like carbon steel, aluminum, brass, and polished stainless steel. And we have a laser cutting machine. Our laser can customize almost any project. Our team can design, fabricate, and install your project today.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Vans Industrial, customizing for you, the customer.
You're unique, so why is your mattress one size fits all? Because a custom mattress costs thousands, until now. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to HelixSleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep on. Shipping is free, and you have 100 nights to try it out. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio and get $50 off your order. HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Finding great people to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's time to try ZipRecruiter, where 80% of jobs get a qualified candidate in just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
The number one fear amongst retirees today is running out of money in retirement. And that's with good reason, because the last thing you want to be is 75 years old, full of life, and flat broke. Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. Today, we're living longer than ever before, so your retirement savings has to last 2, 3, even 4 decades. So how do you safely generate more income in retirement without risking everything you've worked for in the stock market? And what can you do to help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answer's in our free retirement income planning packet. It's packed full of little-known strategies on how to generate income in retirement, getting the most from Social Security, minimize taxes, and reduce the risk of outliving your income. You don't need to take unnecessary risks to generate income in retirement, and I'll prove it to you. You have a lot more options to generate income in retirement. You just didn't know they existed until now. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742, right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, forced into the splits. Yes, it's a very graphic video that's going viral, and there's a Chicago connection.
Forced into the Splits was the name of my 1980s Thompson Twins cover band.
We'll have that story coming up, but first, let's go into the newsroom. A very acrobatic man. Here's Mike Scott.
Trying to imagine Dan as a blonde, but I can't. I just
no.
Picture, picture doesn't work even with a wig. 60 and partly sunny outside right now, and we are watching, as you are as well. It was Tropical Storm Harvey, now Hurricane Harvey, bearing down on the Texas Gulf Coast. Now 7 counties are under mandatory evacuation orders. The National Hurricane Center says it's now a Category 2 storm, packing maximum sustained winds of 110 miles an hour. Those of you heading to the airport, O'Hare or Midway, you're seeing a number of airlines already waiving flight change fees for those traveling to Texas and the Gulf Coast. And drivers will likely be paying more at the pump because of Harvey. Some oil refineries in the path of the storm are shutting down operations. President Trump will kick off a campaign next week to overhaul U.S. tax policy. An administration official says this morning, telling Bloomberg the president will launch his campaign Wednesday in Springfield, Missouri. It's expected to be the first of several presidential stops around the country in the coming weeks. 8 major leaguers are looking at major fines and suspensions. You may have seen some video on this after fights broke out. Well, hard to call them fights. They were brawls during yesterday's Yankees-Tiger game in Detroit. 8 Major League Baseball ejections, including both managers, and 3 separate bench-clearing incidents. Apple's brand new iPhone 8 reportedly will set you back just about $1,000. New York Times reporting the 10th anniversary update of the original smartphone will be priced right at that mark, around $990 to $1,000. Fire crews continue to battle the blaze and mop up after the fire broke out early this morning in Chicago's North Lawndale neighborhood in a 3-story apartment building near 18th and Avers. Illinois' legislative leaders say they've reached a tentative deal in the state school funding fight, but details are still being worked out. A pair of suburban Kmart stores will shut down later this year. Sears announcing it's closing 28 locations around the country, including Elmhurst and a Sears in Oak Lawn. Reds over the Cubs 4-2. White Sox turn back the Twins 5-1. And we will see Mitch Trubisky take snaps with the first team as the Bears preseason continues Sunday against the Titans. The news service of Dove Men Plus Care. Did you hear that 91% of guys that use Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant recommend it? Dove Men Plus Care users say that it's like the Hoover Dam, but for armpits. Well, if it can hold back that much sweat, it must be good. Pick up some of the new Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant for yourself at your local retailer. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Mike Gallagher Show.
This has been a ridiculous few days in this country. It's sad. It's infuriating. It is heartbreaking. The loss of this young life was so needless and absolutely wasted.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
And finally, here's a way you can save time. Use Spot Hero anytime you park downtown. First-time users can enter promo code CITY for $10 off. Spot Hero. Park smarter.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
8:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, it's slow from Montrose to Jackson. It's 39 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 29 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound, 33 minutes to O'Hare. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound, 29. Eisenhower, with delay starting at St. Charles. 52 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 36 from Manheim, outbound 45 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 47 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41. Ryan, 25 minutes from 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive's fine right now. Southbound Tri-State heavy, 21 to before 176 thanks to an earlier crash. Northbound delays from Southwest Highway to LaGrange Road and from the O'Hare Oasis to Balmoral. Northbound Veterans Memorial a bit tight, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are fine. I-80 looks great. No delays to report right now in northwest Indiana or in southern Wisconsin. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and nice today with a high of 73, partly cloudy and 58 overnight. Currently 60 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, you're going to introduce us to the Woody Hayes of gymnastics coaching.
Yeah.
You know why I call him the Woody Hayes?
Why?
You know the Woody Hayes incident?
I know who Woody Hayes is. My grandma went on a date with him. She went to Denison, and so did he.
Unbelievable.
No, she did.
Did your grandma also make out with Edward James Olmos? Because, I mean, that's the age range, like you did.
I'm not saying she did not make out with Woody Hayes. She actually did not like him. He was a beta at Denison. She was a Kappa Kappa Gamma. Their eyes met in the spring of 1937.
You sound like Bill Clinton.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. No, but she didn't like him. She said he was not polite and it's very rough around the edges. He was not a gentleman.
Well,
she later married Grandpa Russ, who went to Northwestern, Dad.
Prepare for this. One Charlie Bauman would agree with your grandmother, Mike Scott. Please inform Amy Jacobson what I'm referencing.
Woody Hayes was on the sidelines. I'm thinking it was a bowl game. Was it not a bowl game?
The Gator Bowl.
The Gator Bowl. That is right.
1978.
He decided at that point that his Ohio State Buckeyes weren't doing
Still
well
am.
enough on defense, and they needed a 12th man. That would be himself. So he reached into the field of play, yanked a guy who was coming out of bounds, totally out of bounds, and decided to pummel him.
Yes, and that ended Woody Hayes' career.
It sure did.
Was that it? That was the last game for Woody Hayes?
And his chances also ended his chances to
Woo my grandma.
be with your grandmother. Yes. And also, it's a Clemson breakthrough win over Ohio State in that 78 Gator Bowl.
Oh, my gosh.
So just
So Clemson won the game, right?
Oh, by
Good
the,
prevails evil. Yes.
by the way, not to derail this gymnastics story, but
You already have, but that's all right.
well,
We will get to it.
a friend of mine, Rich Calderazzo, who played.
You mean Richie
here we go.
Calderazzo? Huh, Richie?
Yeah,
I got a guy.
that's him. He played for the University of Michigan under Schembechler in the
Bo.
60s,
Yes.
right? The good team. 68 Ohio State-Michigan game. This is the greatest story. And I didn't know this. He told me the story. 68. So Michigan loses 50-14, right?
That's a pretty big whomping. Yes.
In the fourth quarter, Ohio State is up 44-14. They score again. Woody Hayes goes for 2. Okay, and he doesn't make it. Woody Hayes is asked after the game, Coach, why did you go for 2? And Woody Hayes said, because I couldn't go for 3.
Oh!
Now that is a rivalry.
That is a rivalry.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it's a big deal. I lived in Michigan. That is a big deal.
Yeah.
You'll do pregame a week before the game.
That's the kind of coach I want coaching girls gymnastics.
Well, the coach in girls gymnastics, it was violent. Did you guys, any of you here, see the video?
I saw
Mike?
the video.
Yeah, I saw it.
Dan, did you see the video?
I saw it.
Yeah, because I showed it to you.
Yes. That's why I saw it.
You can't force people into the splits. Of course, we're talking about the brand new cheer coach at East High School in Denver. His name is Ozell Williams. And what he did during camp 2 months ago was he would force girls into the splits, and then the other cheerleaders would hold the girls' arms. And he was pushing them down into a further position. And one girl actually tore a muscle on the back of her leg. Listen to this video. Another cheerleader, shot this on her iPhone, and the girl, Abby, is begging, stop this. She begs 9 times for him to stop touching her and forcing her to the ground within 24 seconds.
No. You're just gonna make it worse. Stop. She need her inhaler.
It is barbaric. It is disgusting. Some girls thought that she was joking at first. She wasn't.
Well,
So
she's crying. What's
I know,
what's
but
funny about that?
Ozell is holding down each girl's shoulder and pushing them down even further. But here's the thing. The school had this tape, did nothing about it until somebody on the cheer squad leaked it to KUSA, Channel 9. That's the NBC affiliate in Denver. And the girl, she suffered emotional injuries and physical injuries. Here's her mom.
This is a grown man pushing my 13-year-old girl so hard against her will while she's crying and screaming for him to stop that he's ripping tissues in her body.
And now, this morning, thank goodness the Denver police are involved and they're going to be investigating, but he's still out on the streets. I mean, it's clearly assault, and I don't understand why he's not behind bars, why he has not been arrested. He's been placed on leave along with the principal, the assistant cheer coach, the assistant principal, and the Denver Public Schools Deputy General Counsel. I don't even know what that is, but they've been placed on leave too. But it just, as a parent, it's you trust these coaches to do the right thing.
Well, you're a coach.
I am a coach, and I would never, ever force flexibility on anybody. But the bottom line, you don't touch your players. You don't touch your gymnasts. You don't touch your cheerleaders until you
touch.
Well, you should see him. I mean, he's taking up and lifting up her buttocks and then pushing her hips on the ground.
Okay, but let's touch is a little bit
not
broad.
touch,
but
right,
I mean,
I have touched because
What-
I show them.
I was
how
going to say, let's use the word allegedly abuse.
Yes.
Not touch. Coaches
Yes.
are allowed to touch athletes.
Of course. I mean, you know,
I touched some yesterday when we were showing them how to bump properly. You do have to touch and.
when I used to go in the games, Coach, I'm not going to the game until you slap me on the butt. I don't feel comfortable playing until I've got the butt slap.
But here's the Chicago connection: Ozell Williams,
Yeah.
Jesse White Tumbler, former Jesse White Tumbler, and listen to this. They said that he was a mentor and spokesman for the Secretary of State of Chicago, Jesse White. Do you remember him being a spokesman?
Oh, I don't.
For the Secretary of State.
I mean, in the great pantheon of Jesse White Tumbler spokespeople, I don't recall him specifically.
I mean, this
But-
guy Ozell, who's from Chicago, he is quite a tumbler. He's goes to the Broncos games. You can see him in the end zone.
Well, Jesse White Tumblers. I mean, that's always an awesome show when they do like halftime at a Bulls game or whatever. I
Right.
mean, they're great gymnasts, but obviously you see this video, and I don't know what possessed him to push that girl beyond her breaking point, quite literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you want to, there's pain for gain in sports and stuff. I played organized sports for a long time, but
You can't
but
force flexibility.
but what, if you see the video, that is like way beyond the pale. That's not a close call.
And he didn't just do it to this girl, Abby. He did it to 9 other girls, but there weren't videos of it. And they said, they went home and they complained to their parents. But one of the girls, her parents took her out, but the others, they stayed in.
Well, I mean,
cheerleading group.
Well, this is the nature of the complaints and the understanding. It's one thing to say, my coach is mean. He made me run laps. He made me do, wind sprints until I threw up or something like that. It's another thing to say he had other members of the team hold me down and he pressed me down until I ripped a tendon. Those are two very different things. Yeah, very different things. And, you don't want to be so rigid that you inhibit people from coaching, right? I mean, everything is like, kind of, are you crossing a line? This is where I think, people with common sense, you understand where the lines are. You don't punch a player if you're Woody Hayes in 1978, and you don't rip a girl's tendon if you're a gymnast coach and a gymnastics
But it
coach
bothers
in
me
Denver.
that because people always rip on local news, but if it wasn't for the local news in Denver, this guy would still be coaching because they sent anonymously a tape of this to the TV station. Then they broadcast it, and now Denver police are investigating, and now he has finally been kicked off as a cheer coach.
Local news is terrible.
Local news is my hero today.
And so if it wasn't for a good citizen that did local news's job for them, you mean, it would have been unearthed. Yes, right. Okay. Now, if it wasn't for a girl on the team who does a better job than local news network affiliate reporters, then it wouldn't have been unearthed because it had nothing to do with
citizenship journalism.
Yes, exactly.
Well, they needed them as an outlet to show the abuse that was going on. For months, this guy's been doing this.
Well, that's why I've said with respect to network news affiliates, they should be replaced by artificial intelligence, which will read the transcripts better. And then people can just, send in their videos, and that could be sorted out by AI.
It's kind of leaning that direction.
I mean, it would be a vast improvement, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that might be.
Mark in Des Plaines.
I'm sorry to say this, guys, but the simple reason why that guy was not prosecuted instantly was because he's black. This reverse discrimination in this country has to stop.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
We don't know that, Dan, and I get you on that.
I don't like.
We don't know that, but I'm going to tell you something. It's rampant.
Yeah,
reverse discrimination is rampant.
Thanks for the call, Mark. I mean, but I don't. Do we have? I don't want to look at instance. This is a coach and a player. Do we have to do? I know that. I know what the left media does, the big government media, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Everything doesn't have to be black and white or the race of the involved parties. Isn't it just exhausting? So I don't want to feed into that. It had nothing to do with black and white. It has to do with the behavior of the coach and the injury suffered by the team member. Yeah. That's it. I don't see this through a race prism at all. I see this as a coach-player issue.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next, a woman born without a vagina gets one thanks to her boyfriend and crowdfunding. We'll explain. But first, your forecast, plenty of sunshine today, a high of 73 degrees for our Salem Company
we have
picnic.
a quick question from 847. How many proms did Amy's grandmother go to?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, check that, see.
Yeah.
You may not even be the record holder in your family, even though you're the record holder for Northwest
I'm definitely record holder for District 214. I mean, no question.
There's no question about that.
Weekend looks great. Nice on Saturday. A few high clouds, a high of 78 degrees. And on Sunday, it's going to be warm for the Chicago Triathlon, about 80 degrees, a chance of a thunderstorm late in the afternoon. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is very flexible Jim Telemonte. You doing the splits right now?
No,
Come on.
Not even close.
I'll force you into them.
Not in the last 20 years. I don't think so. Amy and Dan, we've got problems with Metro trains near Union Station. This is a signal issue right now. An Amtrak signal issue, we're told, according to Metro. So inbound and outbound train movement is stopped near Union Station right now due to these signal issues. So it affects the BNSF, Milwaukee North and West lines. Edens, clear, 19 minutes Lakehook to Montrose, but outbound heavy to Winnetka Road, 29 minutes from Montrose to Lakehook. Inbound Kennedy. Delays start at Montrose, 47 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Quicker in the Express, outbound 28. The Eisenhower's 52 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 45. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41. The Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State very heavy southbound 21 to before 176 after a crash. Northbound Southwest Highway to LaGrange Road. The Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower and Central to Lake Avenue. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
How would you like to have insurance for your computer network? Something to protect your hardware and software and just give you peace of mind, because that's so important. Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer network. For one affordable monthly payment, your company gets a full team of certified technicians who are there for you, working in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. They'll help you over the phone and make house calls to your workplace. And Turnkey IT doesn't wait until there's an emergency call, because they work hard to take preventative measures to keep your network secure, backed up and running nonstop. Turnkey IT can protect your network with what's called the Turnkey Experience. That's where Office 365 hosting's included, with advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and unlimited remote and on-site support, yes, even on the weekends. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company today. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've had 10 major surgeries, including 3 brain surgeries. And I have extreme rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and fibromyalgia. And I wanted to let him know that his Balance of Nature have helped boost my immune system so much, because I'm on injectable medications for the rheumatoid, and they bring down your immune system. Since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I haven't gotten a cold, nothing. It really helped me tremendously.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
If any of you are watching us on our webcam, Eric Thomas is here. We're having a ugly Hawaiian shirt contest today for our Salem picnic, and you're going to give me a run for my money.
Hawaiian shorts on too, or I hope those are shorts.
Wait, great, thanks a lot. MyPillow. There's a really good reason why MyPillow continues to be an important sponsor of our show. It's because our listeners continue to buy MyPillows because they're smart and they want to get a good night's sleep and they want to rest their head on something that's made in America. Yes, Mike Lindell created the MyPillow with this patented fill, which conforms to your neck and back to give you the best sleep ever. He believes in his product so much that there's a 10-year warranty on those bad boys and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And right now in the month of August, you can get the MyPillow 4-pack. That's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows for 50% off. It's the best deal ever. Here's what you do. Go online to MyPillow.com. Type Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code to get 50% off your 4-pack. Or you can go old school and call the 800 number, 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And be sure to tell them that I sent you.
Law, liberty, justice. This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
I work as a coach in the Arlington County Public School System. My question is, how far can I go in sharing the gospel without violating the school policies, state, etc.?
The first thing you need to do in a situation like that is it needs to be student-led and student-initiated. Any discussion with the students about religious faith and practice in the context of a school setting needs to be done by the student to student. Now, you could be the faculty sponsor, for instance, of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. You could be the faculty sponsor for the high school Bible club. But you can't be engaged in direct evangelism as a coach of the school. You'd have real difficulty there legally. But the students are certainly free to share their faith and discuss what Jesus means to them in their lives. That's perfectly constitutional.
If you have questions regarding law and religious liberties, visit us at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
We're never going to meet these deadlines.
We need to staff up and fast.
How are we going to find the number of people and the quality of work we need?
I've already made calls to several industrial staffing companies, and I think ClearStaff is the best choice and right in our budget.
Keep talking. Tell me more.
ClearStaff provides a realistic full staffing plan and a live customer service rep to take your calls 24/7. This gives you the assurance that any staffing issue will get resolved quickly. Every manager knows that communication is the key. Short staff and call-offs are unpredictable, but with ClearStaff's responsive customer service team, they can take appropriate measure to get you the people you need to get your job done. The labor market is very tight right now. ClearStaff can provide current data for any area in the greater Chicago market. For larger companies, they can also provide on-site supervision and web-based time and attendance systems. ClearStaff.net is an industrial-strength staffing provider. Staff up today at ClearStaff.net. That's ClearStaff.net. Maxon Shooter Supplies is raising the bar for Chicagoland gun owners and enthusiasts. Proudly serving the community as Chicago's premier gun shop and indoor shooting range. Here's some exciting news. Maxon has earned the exclusive right to be one of fewer than 100 dealers nationwide to have access to 2 brand new Glock models a week before anyone else. Don't miss your opportunity to try out the new models with 20 rounds of ammunition, range time, and eye and ear protection for only $10. Limited quantities of the new Glocks will be available for sale this Saturday, well ahead of the new product release to the general public. This is an exclusive event at Maxon Shooter Supplies. Join the excitement at Maxon as the 2 new Glock products are revealed this Saturday, August 26th at 9 a.m. Come early. The first 50 shooters get a free hat. Maxon Shooter Supplies, 75 East Brad Rock in Des Plaines. For more info, visit maxonshooters.com. That's MAXON shooters.com.
Discover Westmont, a community nestled in the heart of DuPage County. With top-notch schools, beautiful affordable housing, and excellent dining and shopping, Westmont makes a great place to live, work, and play. Choose Westmont. Discover how your business can flourish and grow with a wonderful central location providing rapid access to Chicago's key expressways, airports, and many family-friendly amenities. Add quick transportation on the Burlington train line, and that means simple and easy travel for everyone. Westmont is committed to working collaboratively with you to facilitate inquiries about your family or business relocation. We'll help your company navigate to Westmont for a great experience. Call Larry Forsberg at Westmont Economic Development at 630-824-9337. That's 630-824-9337 to find out about incentives that can help you plan your development, relocation, or expansion. Discover all Westmont has to offer. For more information, visit ChooseWestmont.com. That's ChooseWestmont.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, so this girl, Kaylee Moats, 23 years old. She was born with this syndrome, MRKH syndrome, which means she's born without a cervix, uterus, or vaginal opening. And it's a condition. No, it affects 1 in 5,000 women, believe it or not. And so she was one of the unfortunate ones. But now, thanks to her boyfriend who set up
Because
this guy, he's great.
He's an interested party.
He set up a GoFundMe page so that they could pay for her surgery to allow her to have an intimate relationship. And they've reached their goal of $15,000.
Would you say that would open up their relationship to new possibilities?
Oh, will you stop it? She said that her boyfriend was supportive of the cause, even, they had a non-sexual relationship. They met when he was a doorman and she worked
Like
at
most marriages.
a hotel. And
Thank you very much.
they fell in love and later learned that, they were going to have a non-sexual relationship because she couldn't have it. But now that they've paid for the surgery, she's going to get it done in a few months, and then we'll see what happens. She says she's a little nervous
That's
to have sex for the first time.
Yeah, well, that's a feel-good story.
It's a great story to end the week on.
Yeah. Also, a related story, if I could stick in those regions.
Excuse you.
Just a heads up, the Journal of the American Medical Association dermatology study published this week. 26% of men and women who groom their pubic hair have been injured at least once. 32% have said that it's happened 5 or more times. So, razor, wax burns, irritation, hair follicle infection, lost portions. So you just want to be careful when you're doing your man or womanscaping.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a public service announcement.
Tips from Dan. Now let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
We're looking today at a sunny and nice start.